This content is brought to you by Lair magazine. Are you a busy dungeon master without enough time to create content for your D&D game? Would you like professional, pre-made 5th edition adventures and other resources you can drag and drop into your existing campaign? If so, Lair magazine has exactly what you need. Every issue of Lair magazine comes with 2 5th edition adventures, maps designed for use on virtual tabletops, and other dungeon master resources. New monsters, puzzles, traps, magic items, NPCs, pre-made encounters, and more. Become a DM Lair patron today to get a new issue of Lair magazine every month, along with loads of bonus content, such as additional 5th edition adventures and map packs with even more digital maps. DM Lair patrons also get extra perks, such as playing in D&D games with me, voting on the videos I make, access to my VIP Discord channel, a monthly video hangout over Zoom, and more. Click that link below to learn more and become a DM Lair patron today. Hello. We are live. But we haven't started yet. This is just the starting soon screen. So don't get too excited quite yet. Joshua Beatum, what's up, dude? Good to see you, buddy. Jaspers, hello. Jaspers, you were complaining that I was late. And I saw that. I have a contractual obligation that whenever I see somebody complain that I'm late, I wait a little bit longer. I just want you to know that. Penguin Bud, good to see you. Ed, hello, my buddy. Goliath, what's up, dude? Generous Heel, hello. Stormy Chan, what up? Nixit, what's up, dude? William Mena Rob, what up? Drake, hello. Seth C, what's up? Joshua Anderson, yo, dude. Centerfire, yo. You're picking wild blackberry, Centerfire? Oh, that's cool. I hope you're eating half of them. You have to eat at least half of them. Don't worry about washing them, dude. It's not a big deal. It just rained. Well, I mean, I don't know where you are. It just rained for like the last 3 days where I am. So it's clean. Don't worry about it. You're good. Did my bacon offering summon you, Luke? Yes. In fact, you should give that to me right now or I'm leaving. Thank you. Ambers, hello. How you doing? Them Ed virus. I'm not late. It's my live stream. I can start it whenever I want. It's mine. Obed, what's up, dude? A new name? Yes, you need one. Thank you. Holy crap balls. Pastelius Terra Titan Extraordinaire par excellence? Dude, we're just gonna call you TT. Well, wait, no, I shouldn't say that. I was off Terra Titan, but TT is like too close to some other word that I'm probably gonna say by accident. So we're not gonna call you that. We're just gonna call you fast. Yeah, okay, next. Somebody with a less difficult name, please. Anthony English, hello, I can do that one. That's pretty good. Thank you, sir. Mojo Jojo, hello. Having you on my planning. Oh, you're planning your session for tomorrow? Cool. Sweet. The bacon should be on my P.O. box in approximately 0.02 seconds. Well, I guess we're not going to have a live stream tonight because I have to go to my P.O. box now. Thanks, Penguin Butt. You see, Penguin Butt, you could have sent that directly to my home address. It could have arrived at my door. It could have been cooked and ready to go. And we would have still had a live stream. But no, you had to send it to my P.O. box. Everybody's going to miss out now because you sent it to my P.O. box. Wow. Gabrielle Lacunza, hello, what's up? Steven Newton, yo. List boy, what up? Freaky wants attention. Mr. Guy. Obed says I thought you were telling me to get a new name when I realized it was another. Yeah, it was another username. Quasums, what's up, dude? Look at this. Did you guys just see that? Quasums said hi, chat, but he didn't say hi to me. Wow. Well, does anybody know anybody who can edit videos? We are in the market for a new video editor now. just kidding, Zach. Don't leave. I'm just playing around with you, buddy. It's all good. Happy times. Tyrium Travovio, what up? Nixit says, come on over, Luke. I'll put on some thick maple bacon. It's only a 4-hour drive or so. Where are you, in like Canada or something, dude? I have to go up north, man. Soap flavored. Oh, Lacunza, it's not too bad. It's really straightforward. I just stumbled over it. Quasum says that was on purpose. Oh, it was a dig. I thought you were just being nice to chat, but it was intentionally a dig at me. Wow, that is messed up, dude. This is so messed up. Look at that. He's saying hi to Penguin Butt and Goliath. He's saying hi to everybody except for me. Dude. Dude. Okay. All right. My first DM is joining my campaign next session. I'm super nervous. Oh, dude. Well, you know, maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're just there because they want to play and relax and not have to prep a game. You know, I wouldn't necessarily think that they're just sitting there judging you the whole time. I mean, they might be, but... Oh, you guys ready to... Oh, look at this. Danny is here. Hello, Danny. How are you doing, Danny? It's good to see you. Danny's like, yeah, the Yeehaw Wi-Fi is cooperating tonight. I got a whole gaggle of cats assembled down here. They're all waiting. They're awaiting. Sup, Psycho? What's up, dude? You guys are nutbags. Jeez. We're crazy. Crazy. You guys want to start this thing off? Want to get going? Want to get going here? All right, cool. Let's do this. I gotta drink another cup. It's like the whole crew is here tonight, dude. It's crazy. All right. Let's get this thing going. All right, let me find some buttons. Oh. Shut up, little guy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? It's a wonderful evening. Good to be here. Good to see you all. We're having a live stream in case you haven't figured that out. Tonight, it's just Q&A. You throw your questions down in the chat. My lovely moderators will be putting them over into a spreadsheet where I will be able to look at them and answer them so you don't got to spam. It's going to be great. We got a whole bunch of like sleazy plugs to go through before we jump in, but then we're going to get into it and it's going to be great. First thing, number one thing I want everybody to know is LairCon. LairCon. This is the shirt for LairCon, except that we're updating the artwork because it's a little bit monotone. And so I went back to the artist and we're making some tweaks to it to make it look even better. But anyway, this is the preliminary shirt. You can literally go get these now. You can get these shirts now. They're not going to be for sale for long. And then we're changing it to the new artwork, which means that this monochrome is like limited edition and you won't be able to get it for very long because once I have the new artwork, I'm going to swap it out on my store and then you won't be able to get this anymore. So I don't know, that might make it like limited collector's edition or something like that. But anyway, LairCon 2022 is happening this October 7th, 8th, and 9th down in Pensacola, Florida. There is a link down in the chat. There are links all over the place where you can go check it out. I think moderators can post a link to LairCon. I hope I have one of those set up. If I don't, you should yell at me so that I can set one of those commands up for you. It's gonna be really cool. We have a very nice venue. It's got like downstairs lounges, upstairs lounges. It's got lounges and it's like a ballroom. It's a very nice place. So the tickets are available now. There are VIP tickets where you can play D&D with me. We've sold 3 of them and there are only 2 left. So if you want the VIP tickets, I would move quickly because they're going to be gone soon. And then we have premium tickets where you can play with members of the DM Lair crew who will be running games for you. For instance, Penguin Butt will be running a game. Goliath Cleric, Ed is running a game. Who else do we have? The Colonel is running a game. I think a couple people from Peak D&D will be running games. So anyway, premium games, those are the premium tickets, run with people play D&D with, or it might be D&D. It's probably D&D. They might be running a different system. I'm not totally sure offhand. I'd have to go look at all the information, which I'm not going to do right now. So stop pressuring me. Premium tickets, and then obviously just the standard weekend passes where you'll just play D&D with everybody else. But I will be there. I love just walking around and saying hi to people and hanging out with people. So if you want to see me, see my crew, play some D&D, have a nice weekend, there's a link. Hopefully, there we go. There's a link in the chat. Sweet. Where you can go get some tickets and stuff and make some plans. Pensacola, Florida. It's like October, so beginning of October. So I don't think it's going to be crazy hot. It should be fairly moderate, I hope. So yeah, it's not going to be like the heat of summer or anything. So anyway, go check out LairCon 2022. I hope to see folks there. Oh, Ed is going to be running a Star Trek Adventures Expo game. Okay, cool. I might have to buy a ticket to that myself. Glad Clear's running D&D. Cool. All right, next thing. Layers and Legends pre-orders. So my Kickstarter ended a little bit ago, almost a month ago, and pre-orders are now open. So if you missed the action on the Kickstarter itself, but you still want to get the books, you can go do that. There's a link below where you can get that. 2 big, huge books full of 5th edition resources, adventures, monsters, traps, puzzles, whole bunch of stuff. They're very, very cool. We are working on getting everything around for fulfillment right now. Working with every day, I'm like talking to artists about all the crazy amounts of artwork that we're commissioning. We're working on some of the stretch goals. We're getting it all around. It's going to look really, really amazing. So go look at the link down there if you want to get in on that. For those who did back it on Kickstarter, your surveys should be coming out this week. So I know people have been asking me, Luke, when does the survey come out? I need to tell you where to ship my books to and stuff like that. That should be coming out this week. So I know it's been taking us a little bit of time. There was some arrangements to be made with BackerKit and stuff and getting everything lined up so that everything went smoothly. But those should be coming out this week, so you can look forward to that. All right, so got those 2 things done. We are doing a giveaway tonight. There should be a link in the chat to the D&D book giveaway. Every single live stream, I give away a D&D book to somebody. So you don't have to, you don't pay anything to enter. You just enter it. It's a giveaway. It's free. And then at the end of the live stream, I will draw the winner to the giveaway. It's pretty simple. You just click some links, clicky, and then you maybe win a D&D book. So it's pretty cool. All right, we're almost there. I told you I had some stuff to talk about before we began. Okay, we are still raising money for Stack Up. Stack Up is a military charity that helps support active and veteran service members in the US and allied nations by promoting positive mental health and suicide prevention. We have so far raised over $3,000 for Stack Up, and our goal is $6,000. We're over halfway there. I'm hoping to get there quickly so we can send them a big old wad of money to help our veterans and active service members in the military. We do a lot of things around the channel to support folks in the military, and this is our latest one. So if you want to contribute, there is a link down in the chat. There's a link down in the description. Make sure you're sending it to the Stack Up link. Do not send it as a tip. Please send it to the Stack Up link that is down in the chat. And to make this a little bit of fun, incentivize people and things like that, we have a couple different things. There are milestones. So far, we hit our $1,000 milestone, which means that everyone who donates $25 or more is going to get a digital map bundle with 50 RPG maps in it. And we've also hit our $3,000 milestone, which means that everyone who donates $25 or more is going to get an adventure bundle that contains 7 D&D 5th edition adventures. These are digital resources, folks. So, and just wanted to be clear. Somebody's like, where's my book? I'm like, no, it's digital resources. And then if we get to $6,000, everyone who donates $25 or more gets a back issue of Lair magazine, an actual back issue bundle that has 3 back issues of Lair magazine in it. That's over 150 pages of content you can use in your D&D games. And I will run a D&D one-shot for the top 5 donors. The top 5 donors will get a D&D one-shot. So if you This cat's biting me. I'm also, if you donate $50, you make me do push-ups on stream tonight. If you donate $100, I will do a dance of some sort, no guarantees on quality. And if you donate $250, I will sing song. So, feel free to make me look like an idiot at your desire, whim, stuff. Marcus, hello. What's up, dude? All right. Yes, Ambers, it was Squeaky. Squeaky's down here nibbling my leg. I have three other cats are looking at me. Little guy is looking away from me, and Squeaky is bugging me. That's pretty normal around here. All right. The last thing we're gonna do here before we jump into our Q&A is we're gonna put a bunch of awesome people's names on the screen. These folks here are patrons and YouTube channel members. They contribute money monthly to the DM Lair, and they help support all of the content that we create. All of the free videos, the live streams where I answer your questions, all of the free resources that are on my website, thedmlair.com. We literally commission people to write D&D resources, magic items, puzzles, monsters, and things like that for free. But we pay them, but then we give it to you for free on the dmlair.com, so you can use those resources in your games. These folks help contribute to that. And they are obviously patrons. The patrons get Lair magazine and all of our other premium content every single month as well. So I am deeply appreciative to all of our patrons and YouTube channel members. And then these folks here have paid me even extra money, big old fat juicy bacon bribes, to read their names off every stream. So they get a verbal shout out, and here we go. 5e Magic Shop, Aerospatial, Alex T, Amanda W, Ambers, Amy P, Andrew M, Andrea U, sorry, Andy S, Andy W, Anthony B, Anthony E, Antoine B, Arrow Odd, Arutha, Ashley, Baldwin, Barda Bear, Ben B, Benjamin B, Burncastle, Brandon, Brandon A, Brian M, Call Me Backup, Celestina K, Chris C, Chris E, Christopher S, Clay W, Cody B, Contra Gravy, Corey S, Draxus, Dresna, Dutch, Ed R, Edward L, Ericos, Flame Black 200, Frostbrew, Gene A, Goliath Cleric, Gravy Chorn, Heather L, Iggy, It's Baoban, Izzy T, Jackie Pizza, Jake L, Jacob K, James L, Jan F, Jeremy W, wow, there's two of them, Jessica J, Jim P, Jimmy L, JM, Joe D, John A, Joseph H, Josh S, K, Kale S, KK, Keith L, Kevin F, Kezides, Kirby, Kyle G, Kyle M, Labraworks, Lionheart, Magna N, Marty M, Marwin R, Matt B, Matthew J, Mirostal, Mr. Linkanu, Mr. T, Nathaniel M, Oldtimer, Ol S, Omega Fire, O&D, Penguin Butt, Pierre P, published author, Rachel S, Radiance Guardians, Ramus, Razlik, Race W, Renner C, Robert C, Ron R, Ronald, Ryan H, SG Sounders, Sakura, Scott V, Sir John, Shadow 1317, Shane L, Sheila A, Snowy Tiggy, Son of a Sofa Man, Soul Naya, Stephen T, Stephen A, Tactical Tokens, The 3/4 Hospital, The Old DM, The Pickle, The New Bad Ombre, Thomas F, Thomas T, Tiger 500, Tim Black, Tom C, Travel and Cash, Travels Law, The Lost, Tristan W, Tyler R, Vincent G, Vladimir S, Will M, William H, and XX Red Drum. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived to the Q&A. All right. Let's look at the let's consult the spreadsheet. Oh. Okay, we have stack up donations coming in already. Quasums, Zach, thank you for the $50 donation to stack up. I really appreciate that. Make Luke do push-ups. That's wonderful. I you know, you like donated $50 to stack up. I'm very, very appreciative of that. And I was almost not going to fire you as my editor. And then you're just like, make me do push-ups. And so now I think we're back to even keel now. But you still have to edit all of my videos until I find a replacement, and it could take some time because you're amazing and there aren't that many people that can edit like you do. So you might just have to keep your job for a while. I'm sorry. I'll keep paying you and stuff. Let's just pretend like nothing happened and you just keep doing your job indefinitely, right? Until I send you a message that says, hey, got a second? And then you know. So, but you know, that'll probably never happen. Yeah. Okay. Jeremy Army, thank you for the $50 donation to Stack Up, dude. I appreciate that. Make Luke do push-ups. Thank you. So I'm going to have to do some push-ups. I'm not going to do them every like moment. What I do is I group them all together and I do a big batch of them at once, which makes it much more fun for me to do. So, yeah. Thank you for the donations, guys. I appreciate that. All right. Good gravy. This cat. Cat's like, I want a snack. Jason Coleman, thank you, dude, for the $20. I appreciate that, man. Jason says, happy Friday, sir. No questions. Some loot out of appreciation for the lore and a little something for the kitties. Keep up the great content. Well, thank you, dude. I appreciate that, man. My kitties are very expensive. You know, there's this crazy thing going on, too. I don't know why, but cat litter is sometimes hard to find. It's like sometimes there's some sort of supply chain shortage of cat litter. Like I went to the store today to get their normal cat litter and there was only one bucket left. I usually get 2 of them because I have lots of cats and I have to change their litter. You know, I have to clean their litter all out and put new in, and you understand. But there's only one of them, and like there's this particular brand I always get for them because it works really well. It clumps properly, it doesn't make a mess. You know, it's actually a very cheap brand, but it works better than the expensive ones. I can't explain it. There was only one bucket, so I was rather disappointed. But anyway, one's better than nothing, I suppose. You could be using dirt. Yeah, I have a whole gaggle of cats. We have 7 cats is our official count. Yes. How would you react if someone tried to make an adamantine golem in your game? Well, I probably, since I'm the dungeon master, they wouldn't be able to do it. Oh, you're saying they were trying to make an adamantine golem? Like, so they're a player that maybe got the Librum of Golems or whatever it's called, where you can make golems, and they tried to maybe make an iron golem only made out of adamantine? I mean, I don't know. I would probably just say that it has the same properties as an iron golem, except that I think adamantine armor makes you immune to critical hits, and so I would say that their adamantine golem is also immune to critical hits. And they would have to get enough adamantine to make that golem. That would be a lot of adamantine and very expensive. So they could do it, you know, and it wouldn't just be that it's expensive to get the adamantine, because you can literally, adventurers at the level that you're creating golems, they have so much money. Like 5th edition is just like, have some money. And players are sitting there, their characters have so much money and gold, they're just like, I don't know what to do with all of this. I guess we'll just put it in the bag of holding, just give it out to the peasants, I don't know. So at the level that they're making iron golems or adamantine golems, they have so much money that spending the money on the adamantine is not a problem at all. They have the money. The problem is finding that much adamantine, because it is a rare metal. So they could have the money, but there might not be that much available. They might have to spend some time acquiring it. They might even have to go on adventures specifically delving into the Underdark to known veins of adamantine. It might be guarded by Dwerger and shadow dragons and other horrible things. Who knows? So I think that whole idea there's a whole lot more wrapped up in it than just, oh, let's go buy some adamantine and make this golem. No. That's a much more difficult proposition, I think, than at surface value you might see it. Now you could ask yourself, is that a fun game? Do we want to go specifically delving and trying to find adamantine just to make this golem? Like, is that fun for us? Well, I don't know, but you're not just getting it for free. So if you want to get that thing that you really want, you're going to have to work a little bit for it. You're still going to be going on adventures and playing D&D, and isn't that why we're here anyway? So that's my reaction to that. It'd be like finding uranium. I know. have to talk to the Russians if you want uranium, though. It's from Back to the Future, folks. That's a movie. I'm sure people have seen that. Wait, was it the Russians? Maybe I'm wrong. Who was it that the professor talked to? Remember at the very beginning of Back to the Future Part 1? Who was it that the professor was talking to get the uranium? I swear it was the Russians, but maybe it was somebody else. Maybe, I think it was from people from Kazakhstan or something. Who was it? Somebody knows. What country was it? Somebody knows. Iranians. Thank you, Zach. It's Iranians. Okay, cool. Yeah, I get, people confused. Libyans? Okay, now see, some people are saying it's the Libyans. Greg, Libyans. Tyrium of Tarovia, Libyans. Mr. Gore, Libyans. Ed says Libyans. Zach is like, oh man, I gotta go brush up on my Back to the Future now. Don't worry, we both do, man. Very important. What's the flavor of bacon? Gabriel Lacunza. Are you kidding me? You're kidding me, right? You asked me what's the flavor of bacon. Dude, it doesn't matter. Bacon is bacon in all of its delicious varieties. Maple bacon, thick cut bacon, hickory smoked bacon, candied bacon, except turkey bacon. Turkey bacon is a blasphemy against bacon everywhere. Canadian bacon, all good with the exception of turkey bacon. So the flavor is irrelevant. Bacon is bacon, and it is a beautiful thing. How do I create a game with in-game politics? Do I involve the players directly or indirectly? You could do both. You could do either one. It's going to depend upon your players' desire to play that sort of game, because if you start delving into playing politics in your game, that has a lot of different stuff involved that could stray outside of what many people tend to do in their D&D games. We're talking about delving into dungeons and stuff and killing monsters and getting loot and stuff. The politics game, I feel like, is a different sort of game that appeals to different sorts of players. So the question really is, do your players enjoy that? Would they enjoy that in small doses or large doses? Do they want to be directly involved with playing politicking and talking to people and making maneuvers and plans and things? Is that the game they want to play? And how much of it do they want to play? You could dabble a little bit to see if there's any desire on their part to do that. You could have them be directly involved to see if they like that or not, or you could have there be politics going on in the background. Politics in the background is a fairly safe thing because it's usually going to come across as a summary of some sort. They go into the tavern keeper's like, yeah, did you hear about what's going on over between that dude and that dude? Well, that prince upset that prince, and now there's a whole little rivalry going on. But the good news is, and then it leads into some sort of adventure, right? There's something going on where there's an opportunity for you to introduce a plot hook where the players can go on a standard D&D adventure, right? And that is politics in the background, where it's the players are indirectly involved. So there's always an opportunity for that. And that could just, be a normal thing. And the players know that politics are happening, but they're not actively involved. And they just get to play the normal game, whatever that happens to be for you. How would you recommend recording sessions of D&D? Well, if you're playing online, then you get OBS and you get your Zoom call on one screen and your Roll20 on the same screen, and you split the screen more or less in half, and you just set your OBS to screen record the right monitor or whatever monitor you have the game going on, and there you go. It would capture your system audio, so it'll get your voice, your player's voice, it'll get the screen, and you should be good to go. If you're doing it in person, then you're going to set up a camera, and ideally use a boom mic. You want to have a boom stand with a boom arm that goes over, and then I have a boom mic right here, like above me. Like, this is what I'm using. I have a boom mic. And that's how you would have that boom mic set up direct dead center over your table. That's how I do it. and that way it's going to capture everybody's audio equally. And so people who are listening to your session would be able to hear everyone equally. You don't want to have a table mic, because if you have a table mic, anytime something dice clatter, something hits the table, you're going to hear it. You know, like if I had my boom mic attached, it's attached to a bookcase over here, but if I had it attached to my table, my desk here, every time I hit this desk or something, you would hear junk in the mic and it would not sound good. So you don't want a table mic. And a table mic is going to be closer to one person or another, and then other people are going to be quieter. It's really horrible. You want a boom mic. Boom mics for the win. They're the beautiful. They're the beautiful. That's how I do it. Nixis says, I'll look next year at turkey bacon. Why would you do that? Is somebody pressuring you? Is somebody peer pressuring you into trying out turkey bacon? Don't do it. Don't do it. Who's talking? People are talking about bacon. Tofu bacon? No. Tucky bacon. Hey, Tucky bacon, I just want to let you know, you spelled turkey bacon wrong. You were going for turkey bacon, but it came out Tucky bacon. You missed an R. And this just further reinforces why turkey bacon is so bad, right? Like it's just missing so much that real bacon has. I mean, turkey bacon doesn't even got the R in there. You know, this is a clear sign, you guys, that you do not want to eat turkey bacon. I don't think this can be any more clear. You have to make sure YouTube doesn't ban me for copyright. I don't think turkey bacon is copyrighted, dude. How are you doing? I am doing okay. Homebrew fiend. My players currently lack a short-term goal and aren't biting any plot hooks. What should I do? Stare at them. Stare at them. Just stare at them. Why should you have to do all the heavy lifting? Your players don't have a short-term goal and they don't know what to do, and they're not taking any of your plot hooks. Stare at them. Sit back in your chair. Just sit there and relax and just stare at them. And they're all stare at you and they're talking and they're like, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Be like, I don't know. What are you going to do? I've literally given you guys 3 different plot hooks, 3 different things you could go off and do, and you don't want to do any of them. And now you're just staring at each other. You're staring at me like I'm just going to pull something else out and just throw it. Like, how much work and how many plot hooks do you want me to create for you to turn them all down? Like, work with me here. You got to work with me here. Like, meet me halfway. I'm giving you, many dungeon masters will give their players 1 plot hook and expect them to go do it, which is not a bad thing. It is a way of running games. There's nothing wrong with it. But I have given you multiple plot hooks and you guys don't want to do any of them. Like, what do you want from me? Like, how much, like, do I got to create the whole world full of thousands of plot hooks? And then you guys are going to be like, well, we got thousands of options. We don't know what to do. And then you won't pick. None of it sounds interesting. Like, literally, you guys, I'm going to sit here. You know what? I could just pack my stuff up. You guys discuss online, offline, or over the internet, you know, and you let me know. You let me know when you guys have decided what you want to do. And then we will come back and we'll play D&D. But in the meantime, I've done my part. I've given you plot hooks. I've developed adventures that you could go on, and you have chosen to do none of them. And now we are sitting here and we are staring at each other, and this is probably not fun. If you would just pick a thing to go do, we could play D&D and maybe we'd have some fun. At the very least, we'd roll dice and kill monsters and get loot. That might be fun. You might get some experience points, level up your characters. That might be fun. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I'll go home. You guys give me a call when you want to play some D&D. But in the meantime, I can't handhold you through everything. I can't make all the decisions for you. How many times am I going to be like, orcs attack, and just throw random encounters at you? Give me a break, guys. You need to help me here. I'm a dungeon master. I'm not a miracle worker. Please. So I think the conversation could go something like that. Probably a little bit less confrontational and probably a little bit nicer. You know, probably diplomatic, one might say, is the way to approach those sorts of things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, your players need to meet you halfway. They have to work with you. You've set things up, you've given them plot hooks, and now they sit there and do nothing. You can't make them do stuff. I mean, that you could, that would just kind of be stupid. I would not do that. I would just pack my stuff up and go home and tell them, give me a call when they're ready to play the game. But at any rate, your players got to do something. They have to take control. They have to take initiative. They need to own the game equally as much as you do. At least a little bit, maybe not equally, you know, but they got to have a little bit of ownership here, take a little bit of initiative to make the game work as well. It can't be the dungeon master that's carrying the entire group and making stuff happen so that somebody maybe has fun. Like, it's just not a reasonable expectation. So try something like that. Maybe it would help. Yeah. Chalupa. Chalupa! I can read that. Chalupasaurus Rex. Hello. I figured it out. My dog is snoring. Chalupa, dude, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate that. Just wanted to say thanks for all the DM help I've received from you. Just a random question. What is your favorite pre-written module? My favorite pre-written module. I mean, I haven't read them all. I've only played a few of them. I mean, we're playing Curse of Strahd right now. I kind of like that. I don't know. I'll go with that for now. I haven't ran one that I was like awestruck by and thought it was like crazy awesome. Curse of Strahd is good. It's not bad, you know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't have a really good answer for you. I could just say Into the Fae, the module I wrote. When you design a combat encounter for your players, do you modify the stat blocks at all for your monsters more than just more damage or hit points? If so, what changes do you tend to make? I sometimes modify stat blocks. I try to find a stat block that is good enough as is so I don't have to modify things, because it's a pain to run with a modified stat block, because instead of just having my laptop or my iPad open and then multiple tabs with all the different monsters from D&D Beyond that I can refer to during the combat and switch back and forth, if I've modified a monster, then I have to write it on a piece of paper or something and refer to my notes about how I modified that monster. Or I have that monster's modifications in my DM notes. And then what invariably happens is, as I'm looking at the monster stat blocks on D&D Beyond, I will forget that I modified it and did certain changes to it and wrote them in my DM notes. It invariably will happen. And so I try as much as possible only to modify like boss type monsters or very important monsters, and then I'll have those in my notes and I have to try to remember it. But it is decidedly inconvenient to homebrew monsters, because I'm just gonna forget the changes I made, and it bogs combat down when I have to, like, when I'm looking at the stat block, but then I'm looking at my own notes and see what the homebrew was and stuff. So I do it. I don't do it super often for like normal schmooks monsters and mooks and stuff. What are the things that I tend to change? I don't usually. Increasing hit points is lazy. you know, unless it needs to survive longer. But usually the changes will be something that increases damage or adds a condition or effect. Conditions or effects make things much more interesting in the game than just damage or hit points. So if I can do something that hypnotizes them, do something that slows them down, reduces their movement by half, grapples them, restrains them, anything that knocks them prone, anything that will do something different to make the combat more interesting. That is the sort of thing that I'm probably going to look to do more than just increasing hit points or damage. That is trivial to do, and it doesn't necessarily make the combat more interesting. It just makes it take longer if you increase hit points, or it makes it more challenging and deadly if you increase the damage output. So yeah, I would look for ways to make the combat more interesting as opposed to just hit points or damage output. Well, that's a good preface, moderators. How would you do an impossible fight? What I mean is creating a fight like where you want to make the villain seem menacing, but the players aren't supposed to try and beat and instead escape. Oh gosh, I hate that crap. I hate that crap. I hate that crap. I just hate it. Like, I don't like the idea of creating an impossible fight just to introduce the villain to the players. Like, there's the idea, right, that, oh, I want to introduce the big bad of the campaign to the players. I want them to meet the big bad and know who the big bad is, you know, but the big bad's too powerful for them, and they could never beat him now because they're just low level. And so we're going to have the big bad come with minions and stuff, and the players might try to confront him, but the big bad is way too powerful, and he's going to smack them around a lot and just leave them in the dust. But, you know, they're beneath him, and he can't be bothered with wiping them out now, and so he's going to let them live and then just wander off. Or the players will understand that they're outmatched, and they will run away and try to escape. There's just something about that that just seems unsatisfying to me, and I just don't like it. I would rather the players never meet the big bad, but just hear about them. They hear about the big bad. Ooh, Lord Paxton. Who is Lord Paxton? I don't know, but he has all these vassals that have sworn fealty to him and are working for him. Wow, dude, we're gonna have to probably fight him one day. Yeah, but you don't know where he is, and he's probably pretty powerful. You don't even know what he is. And they just hear about Lord Paxton. They hear about him. They hear about him. They hear about him constantly. And you build him up to be this like menacing threat. Like, holy crap, we don't know who he is. We've never seen him, but he is the guy behind it all. And eventually we're probably gonna have to take care of him. But right now we're working through his lieutenants, who are pretty tough themselves. I much prefer that approach than having Lord Paxton arrive on, I don't know, the back of a dragon or something, and then being like, hey, I'm Lord Paxton, and you guys are all little wussy level 2s, but I'm here just to let you know that I'm the big bad of this campaign, and eventually you're gonna have to fight me. But not today, because today I would just squash you if I wanted to. But I'm not going to because reasons. See you later. I'm flying off on my dragon now back to my secret base that I'm not going to tell you about until you reach level 15. Bye. And then he flies off. I just don't like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just don't like it. So how would you create a fight? You just make it crazy powerful and hard. And then your players are going to get their butts handed to them, and they might refuse to retreat, and they might all die, or they might try to retreat. And then you have to have some reason the boss doesn't just kill them and wipe them out. You have to have some like plot storyline reason of why the big bad is going to let them live when they just tried to attack him and kill him. You know, like, I'm sure that you can come up with something. As a player, I'm gonna see right through it. I'm gonna know, oh, the dungeon master wanted to introduce the big bad to us, and there's no way we can beat him now, and so we're gonna either run away or we're gonna get captured, and then we're gonna have to escape. But it's hopeless, so let's just play out this pointless battle and see where this goes, and see what the reason is for not killing us, and see if it's somewhat palatable or if it's completely unacceptable. So, I mean, as a player, I'm gonna see right through it and know exactly what's going on and know that it's pointless, and that takes away my agency. You see? I have now been thrust into a game situation by the Dungeon Master where I don't have agency. I have no control over that situation. That entire situation has been preordained and decided by the Dungeon Master. The Dungeon Master has decided the big bad will be introduced to the players. And the Dungeon Master has decided that the players cannot beat the big bad at this moment. Reasons. The Dungeon Master has decided that the players will need to run to escape, or be captured and then have to escape, and the Dungeon Master has decided that the big bad will not kill the characters at that moment for reasons. The entire situation smacks of somebody telling a story rather than running a game. And it steals player agency. It takes away all control from them over that situation. And any smart player, any player worth their weight in copper, is going to know exactly what's going on and know that they might as well just go along with it because it's kind of pointless, and all we're really getting is an introduction to the big bad right now, and that's kind of what the Dungeon Master has in mind. But they have no agency, they have no control, they're not really playing a game. It's like a cutaway scene, like a Final Fantasy cutaway scene where you're just watching the story unfold, but you're not actually playing a game. And so I think that is probably a reason that I don't like this idea of introducing the big bad to the characters when they're at low level, because you got all of this stuff wrapped up in it that just isn't a game. It's just like, let me tell you a story now of the person you're gonna have to fight when you're level 15 or 20. And just sit back in your chair and listen and watch, because you really can't do anything important for the next half hour to an hour, except for learn who the big bad is. Yes. Hello. Thank you. Goodbye. No, I think that's just lame. But who do I know? I could be wrong. Little guy, be quiet. Master the game. What's up, dude? How you doing, buddy? All right. My cats need their treat. My cats need their treat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Couple sleazy plugs here I'm gonna hit you with. Be careful. All right, LairCon 2022. This is the shirt. There's a link in the chat. LairCon 2022 is happening this October in Pensacola, Florida. We have a beautiful conference center. I always want to say convention center. It's not a convention center. Convention centers are huge. We have a conference center that is a small venue, but it's very, very nice. Woo. It is so much better than last year's LairCon, you guys. It is like light years better. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. October 7th, 8th, and 9th, Pensacola, Florida, LairCon 2022. There's a link in the chat right there where you can get more information. Tickets are on sale now. We have standard weekend passes. We have premium passes where you can play D&D and other RPG games with people from my team, Goliath Cleric, Ed, Penguin Butt, the Colonel. There are other people from my team as well that are running games at LairCon. I will be at LairCon. I will be running a VIP game. There are VIP tickets on sale too if you want to play D&D with me. 3 of them have been sold already. There are only 2 remaining, so if you want to play D&D with me and you get to go out to dinner, I'm going to take you out to dinner and stuff too. We're going to hang out, talk and stuff, eat some bacon together, right? Anyway, 2 tickets remain for that. So if you want to do that, then you probably should do it soon because they're going to be gone soon. And what else about? We have workshops planned. We have panels planned. Lots of cool things. There's merch. We're going to have big steins, big glass steins, laser etched with LairCon. 2022 on them. We have, there are t-shirts, there's apparel, there's merchandise out there, stickers. What else? What's the other big merch thing? We had another merch thing that we were selling as well. I forget what it was. We had one more thing that was like a merch. Does anybody remember what the merch was? That's not going to do anything, Subcycle. What the heck was it? What the heck was the other merch thing? It was a glass stein. It was stickers, and then it was something. Oh, a poster. Oh, I know we have a poster. We're doing a poster as well. Yes, thank you, Goliath Cleric. I appreciate that. Posters, big posters of the LairCon artwork as well. So anyway, there's links and stuff. You can go check that out. Pre-orders for Lairs and Legends Kickstarter are now available. You can get these 2 awesome books full of Dungeon Master resources, adventures, monsters, magic items, traps, puzzles, all that kind of stuff as well. So if you missed the Kickstarter, that's okay. Pre-orders are open now. And we are raising money for Stack Up tonight. Our goal is $6,000. We are over 3,000. And I believe I owe people push-ups. Yes, I do. I owe Quasums and Jeremy push-ups. Both of them donated $50, which makes me do push-ups on stream. If you donate $100 to Stack Up, you will make me do a dance, right? Yeah, you do a dance on stream. And if you donate $250 to Stack Up, then I will sing on stream. I've done that a couple times. It's very, very entertaining. So, by the way, Stack Up is a military charity. They help support active and veteran service members. They promote positive mental health and suicide prevention. So these guys are doing amazing things for our veterans and active service members. So if you want to support Stack Up, you can contribute and donate to the link in the chat, a link down in the description, and you'll be doing a lot of good. So now I'm going to do some push-ups because I was paid to do push-ups. Sometimes this job is fun, but sometimes it's very difficult. Okay, let's do these push-ups. My cats. All right, we're going to go to the cat cam. Look at these guys. I'm gonna have to interrupt them to do push-ups. Stand by. Oh my goodness. They're gonna watch me. They're gonna be like 0, 0, 0, 0. All right, I have to do push-ups, you guys. Doing push-ups now. Well, I scared off 2 of them. I scared off a couple, but they're still over there. All right, you guys want to give them some cat treats? How's that sound? I have cat hair in my mouth now. All right. This right here is the bomb. This is bacon. Not really. It's actually savory salmon flavor. So there's nothing in bacon here. All right. All right. My dog wants something too.
What's up, doggy, doggy? Doggy, 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 doggy.
There. I gave the dog some. Orange is in the box. Can't see him too well. There he is. Just sitting there. He's got his big butt in that box, eating his snacks. So I took your advice and told my players if they don't show up, they get nothing. And now one player shows up. Should I just let the one player into my other game when the level is the same or now? I don't quite understand that. So it sounds like you've been having trouble with attendance for your games. And you told your players, if you don't show up, then you don't get anything. Experience points, loot, I guess. And then nobody shows up but one player. And now you don't know what to do. Well, yeah. I mean, if the other players don't look, if they don't want to play the game with you, that's cool. You know, you can't just be sitting there with players who are completely inconsistent and stuff. It doesn't help anybody. So yeah, if they're not showing up, then they probably don't want to play the game. So yeah, if you have another game going on, there's room for the one player who actually wants to play, then sure, let them in, pull them into the other group so they can actually play, and then make them the same level, yes, as the other group. And then play D&D with them, and then cancel the first game. Like, why should you prepare a game that nobody's going to show up to play? And why should you have time set aside on your calendar to show up? You're not doing, you can't schedule anything else. You can't plan to do anything else because you're planning to play D&D. You set aside the time on your calendar, and you show up, and then nobody is there to play. Like, I wouldn't do that. I would drop that like a bad habit. Are you kidding me? I'm gone. Peacing out, baby. Now I'm gonna get burned like that once, maybe twice, and I'm done. That group is canceled. And if somebody was showing up and wanted to play, I might find a different way to play D&D with them. But no, I'm not gonna sit there and just take abuse from players who don't show up and are like disrespecting my time and stuff. I'm not doing that. No, I'm out. I'm outie. Do you recommend bacon as a snack at the table? I don't know why this is a bad idea. I don't know why I think this is a bad idea. I mean, look. Bacon gets your fingers greasy, and then you're going to be touching your D&D stuff, your books, your miniatures and stuff with like bacony, greasy bacon fingers. That's a problem, right? And you can't eat bacon with a fork. If you don't eat bacon by picking it up with your fingers, there is something wrong with you, and you should probably be prohibited from eating bacon. It's not a fork food. It is a finger food. It always has been and it always will. Or you're doing it wrong. So yeah, I think there is good reason perhaps to not have bacon at the game table. If a player wanted to retire their character and make a new one, what level should that new character be if the rest of the party is 12 and 11? They should be level 12 or 11. It's the easiest way to play the game, dude. Ooh, wow. What optional D&D books would you 100% recommend? Okay, let's take a look at the ones I would recommend. If you want to learn the history of Dungeons and Dragons, this book right here, Slaying the Dragon by Ben Riggs. It is not out yet. I got the pre-publication copy. I think it comes out in the summer or the fall or something. I don't know. But if you want to learn the history of D&D, that's a great book. Where is my other book? Okay. This right here is a great book. Arbiter of Worlds by Alexander Macris. It has lots of dungeon master ideas in it, things, high level conceptual ideas for you to help run your game better. There's a lot of good stuff in here. It's full of good stuff. The monsters know what they're doing. It's a good book. There's a second one of it as well. This is good for monster tactics. Okay, and then if you're like, Luke, that's great, but that wasn't actually what I was asking about. You want the monster manual? Please go out and buy Volo's Guide to Monsters and Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes before you can't get them anymore. They're probably going to stop printing them because they got the whole Monsters of the Crapaverse. This book right here, Monsters of the Crapaverse. Yeah, this book right here. Yeah. This one right here, you see this? Check this out. Isn't this nice? It's a great book. Great, wonderful book. Go out and buy this book, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, highly recommend. The binding ripped apart the very first time I opened it. But other than that, it's got a whole bunch of stuff in it that you could already have bought with Volo's Guide to Monsters and Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, which are good books and have lots of good lore in them to help you run those monsters better. They didn't put that lore in Mordenkainen's Book of the Crapaverse, Monsters of the Crap, whatever verse, Masters of the Universe, whatever that book is. They didn't put the lore in there. So all of the amazing lore on Githyanki, Githzerai, Beholders, Giants, Goblinkin, Orcs, all of that amazing lore, gone. It's not in Monsters of the Crapaverse. It's not in there. It didn't put it in there. It's gone. It's just gone. So if they stop printing those books, you're not gonna be able to get it anywhere. It's just gone. Woo, woo. So get Volo's and get Mordenkainen's monsters if you can before they're gone. That's my recommendation. Got lots of good monsters in there. I would also recommend Tome of Beasts 2 and Codex Creature Codex. That's a third-party publisher, Cobalt Press. Amazing books. I have all 3 of them sitting up there in my bookcase. They are amazing books. Lots of great monsters in there. Better than Wizards of the Coast monsters. Better. Much better. All right. Those are pretty, and then yeah, those are pretty good. If you're looking to run a game world setting, I cannot recommend the Eberron game world setting. The 5th edition Eberron book they made is amazing. It is everything that a game setting book should have in it. It is absolutely spectacular. I love it. I can't say that of all of the ones they've made for 5th edition either. What fantasy books do you recommend me to read and improve my descriptions as a dungeon master? Okay, well, first of all, we're gonna start off with ones not to read. Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series, do not read those. Not if you want to improve your descriptions as a dungeon master. That's probably not the place to start. The very best place, I think, if you want to look for combat descriptions, describing things in combat, that is going to be R.A. Salvatore. R.A. Salvatore. Now, you don't have to read, if you don't want to read the Drizzt books, that's fine. R.A. Salvatore published books through other publishers as well. He has like a Demon Wars saga or something. He has other books that he has written. And one of the things that R.A. Salvatore is a master at, in my opinion, is combat descriptions, describing combat. He is a master at it. He might not be the best writer when it comes to like, I don't know, like relationships between different characters and stuff. But he is a master at combat descriptions. He is a master at plot. Oh, it's raining outside. He's a master at exciting stuff happening in the books. He's great at pace. The pacing in his books is really, really, really good. There's lots of things that he does really well as a writer. Some things he lacks, but every writer has weak points. You can't fault him for it because their strong points more than make up for their weak points for good writers. So yeah, R.A. Salvatore is a pretty solid place to start, I think, for descriptions. As far as like other types of descriptions, I don't really know offhand ones that I can recommend. I haven't really thought about that, but for sure combat descriptions, R.A. Salvatore is a great way to go. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you homebrew an adventure of Wizards? I probably change a third to a half of what's in Curse of Strahd. I homebrew very heavily when I run a module, a pre-existing module. Part of it is to satisfy my own desire to create stuff as a dungeon master. Like the reason I became it's not the only reason, but one of the reasons I enjoy being a dungeon master is I'm creating stuff. It's just fun making my own stuff to play with. And if I'm running a pre-written module as is and I'm not tweaking anything, I miss out on a whole part of what was fun for me. So I homebrew quite a bit when I run pre-written modules. I think there's a super chat. There we go. Lord God, thank you for the $3 super chat, dude. I appreciate that. Is an adult dragon white enough CR for 5 level 7s? All right, we had some adjectives switched around in there. We're gonna go take a look. I'm gonna punch some math for you. We're gonna do some math. Yeah. The super chat was, Luke, please go do math for me. Okay. We're gonna do math for you. Stand by. Okay, so we have, what was the question again? 5 level 7s. So there are 5 level 7 characters, and they didn't tell me the CR of a dragon. What kind of dragon was it? Adult white dragon. Okay, adult white dragon. Let's go find out the CR for an adult white dragon. We're just gonna use an online tool to see how this looks. Adult white dragon. It is a CR 13. All right, 1 CR 13 and calculate deadly. According to the math, it says that it is just above deadly, which makes sense. Right here, it says it's deadly. I gotta zoom out a little bit. My stuff is covering it up. And let's just take a look. Now, this doesn't always mean everything, these numbers, but an adult white dragon, its breath weapon is a cone, right? Yep. 60-foot cone, 54 points of damage or half. It's a constitution saving throw. That makes it more powerful than if it were a dexterity saving throw because rogues and monks. And at level 7, the characters are going to have an average of, let's say, 7 times 8, which is like what, 56 or something like that. They're going to have around 50 to 70 hit points, let's say, maybe 80 or something. And your white dragon could theoretically drop someone to almost dead if they fail their saving throw. So I think that could work. I think that could definitely work. I would still probably throw a couple minions in there. Like I would have a couple like ice mephits in its lair, or some little like CR1 kobolds that you homebrew, I would still have a couple minions in there just to keep the players a little bit busy. You know, ice mephits are good at that level, I would say, as minions. An ice golem, what is it? A ice elemental. You could take a water elemental and just turn it into an ice elemental. But that's like a CR5, and so that's gonna be a lot more powerful than ice mephits. But I think ice mephits would be a pretty good addition as minions, and then I'd call it a day. And I think you have a pretty good encounter there, especially if the players have already expended resources from adventuring in the rest of the dragon's lair, or getting to the dragon. Yeah, I agree, Goliath Cleric. Yep, it could be tough. But the thing too is when you're running that encounter, dear beloved dungeon masters, when you run dragons in encounters, do not ever have the dragon sit on the ground, because it's going to get surrounded and beat down into oblivion. Dragons have wings. Use them. The dragon flies above everybody else, maybe 90 feet. Swoops down to 60 feet. It breathes its cone directly down. Do you know that a 60-foot cone has a diameter of 60 feet? It is going to hit everything on the map. Everyone gets hit from that cone. And then it might just fly back up. Or, and give your dragons spells and ranged attacks. Have them at least be able to cast cantrips or level 1 spells or something. I would give your dragons flyby attacks, so they can, while their breath weapon is recharging, they can swoop down, attack some people, and fly back up. Like, our dragons have to be smarter. They are incredibly smart creatures. Even the white ones, which are the stupidest ones, they're still very smart. They're smarter than the average human, I believe. What is the intelligence of a nice white dragon? No, it's actually dumber. It's about average. Its intelligence is 8, which is kind of like average human. So it's not smarter than the average human, but still the average human, you know, like if I had to fight somebody toe to toe, or if I could stand back at range where it's safer for me, I'm gonna try to keep my range. So anyway, you can do things with white dragons or dragons in general to make them way better in combat than just landing on the ground and getting the snot kicked out of me. That is not satisfying. Now it's gonna be frustrating to your players because they're like, holy crap, it's flying, what do we do? Yeah, exactly. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. Dragons can fly. What are you going to do? Run away. Run away. Run away. Yeah, they have lair actions. Yeah, don't forget about those. Yeah. I would always give a dragon flyby attack. Always. Always. Just throw it in the stat block. Where's my questions? Oh geez, I just pushed some spectacular buttons right there. All right. How would you design a combat that the goal of the fight isn't to kill all the bad guys? Like, say something with endless waves of enemies while the characters try to escape a compound. I mean, I think the answer to the question is in the question. I don't understand how to answer that question. I would design that combat the same way I design any other combat. I don't think there's any special considerations to it. Like, I think the goal needs to be clear, I think is probably one thing that sets it apart. Like, the players need to understand that the goal isn't to defeat them. It needs to be clear to them. Like, you know, waves of enemies begin pouring forth. Thousands of orcs are coming down the hill. What do? It's clear. We're not fighting thousands of orcs. That makes it very clear. The first little bunch has caught up to you. Roll initiative. And the players are like, okay, if we stay here and duke it out too long, we're gonna get swarmed. And then every round of combat that goes by, every 6 seconds, you say, more and more orcs are getting closer to you guys as you stand there and fight that first little bunch. You remind them of that larger thing every single round of combat, every single round. And they're like, oh crap, that's right. We can't just stand here and fight. We're going to get swarmed. And then they got to figure out ways to retreat, other ways to overcome the situation. So I think that's probably the biggest thing is obviously you want to make that goal clear to them. Endless waves of enemies are easy. You just make them. Be prepared for your players to fight anyway. Because they might. But I don't know. I don't really have any general things for that question. It could be unique every time. It really depends on what the goal actually is. If the goal isn't to fight, then what is the goal? And I think the answer to that question is going to inform how you design that combat potentially. And so I think that's probably too generic and high level for me to give too good of an answer, but I don't know. That's what I got for you. What are your opinions? Oh, thank you, Jaspers, for the $5 super chat. What are your opinions on the drow becoming a bit friendlier? Drow are evil creatures that live in the Underdark. They're only becoming friendlier because Wizards is playing politics and trying to appease people who are upset at them. That's the only reason drow are becoming friendlier. That's the only reason. There, you can say they're virtue signaling. You can say whatever you want. You know, the bottom line is that there are certain motivations that Wizards has for changing the way they portray drow. Turkey Bacon, thank you for the $20, dude. I appreciate that. Mwahaha! My support grows in your own chat, Luke. What? Are people supporting Turkey Bacon? Who's encouraging Turkey Bacon? Somebody's encouraging Turkey Bacon. Who's been doing that? The Dreams Gone says, I almost TPK'd a party with a black dragon wormling. Dragon breath weapons are nasty. You have to survive, but if you survive that first breath weapon, things are a lot better. Jasper says, I'd like a drow friend if they were nice. Well, if they carry 2 scimitars, they're nice. Otherwise, they're generally evil. That's the rule. Coinslot says, I stand Turkey Bacon. I don't know what that means. Hanu is guilty of supporting Turkey Bacon. Wow. Goliath says, just remember, the original good drow was a legendary figure because he was good. Yeah, most aren't. Most are not. The society is evil. They worship an evil deity. They're evil. Drist was the exception. He was a legendary exception. Drumscun says, love me a good turkey bacon. Oh my gosh. Lord God says turkey bacon. What? Stan equals support? Really? What? I don't know. Okay. I don't know why, but Gladius Gaming says turkey bacon is a pale comparison. Its very existence is an insult to actual bacon, implying there is something that could be improved. I think that was really well stated. Thank you, sir. Everybody should listen to Gladius Gaming. I think they have lots of really deep intellectual stuff to say, and all of our lives could be improved if we were to pay attention more to what they say. And that goes especially for Dreamscom and Lord God and Coinslot. I think you should probably read that. Right. You know what? Write what Gladius Gaming said down 100 times on a blackboard. I want you to make sure you remember that. Tyrion of Tarovia says turkey bacon is an abomination. Thank you. That's good. All good drow need to be returned to the Underdark to face Loth's justice. Yes. Nixon says you talked me into BLTs, Luke. Just made some. Oh, and where's mine? Oh, that's right. We are publishing an adventure about drow. Yeah, Goliath Cleric wrote that one. That's nice. That's coming out. I think it's coming out next month though. I don't think it's coming out in July. I think it's coming out in August. Yeah, is it? Yeah, I think that's coming out in August. Don't fret, brothers and sisters. There are always non-believers. Yeah, the country gardener got it. Pork bacon, beautiful. Any bacon is better than no bacon. Nice. All right. Okay, here's a question. If you were driving to another state and taking over a friend's D&D night for a one-shot, would you murder just his character or go for the TPK? I would be nice and not kill anybody is what I would do. Theoretically, I mean, this is assuming you can even kill him or do a TPK. I mean, we're dealing with 5th edition here. I don't know whoever I don't know if that person has the chops to TPK us. I don't think they got it in them. I don't think they could even kill my character. Pretty sure my character is going to be invincible. So yeah, if you think that whoever that is able to TPK us, then you're welcome to try. I just don't think you got it in you. Sorry. Do you have a process for creating puzzles? Yes. You want to know my process for creating puzzles? I pay other people to create them for me. That's my process. That is my process because I'm bad at creating puzzles. I'm very, very bad at creating puzzles. I just don't really make them at all. So no, I don't have a process. That's my process is pay other people. Or you could get Lair magazine. Hey! We put puzzles in Lair magazine, not every single issue, but every 3 or so issues, I think we probably have puzzles in there. Because I know that puzzles are challenging to make and people probably appreciate that resource. So we try to make sure Lair magazine has puzzles in it on a reoccurring basis, because it's a really good thing to have in your games, because there are players that love puzzles and yet they are probably one of the most challenging things to create. I think we found that creating adventures, like when we commission our freelancers to create things for our publications, we found that there are very few people who can write adventures. Design and write adventures is a very challenging thing to do. And there are very few people who can write puzzles, can create puzzles, also a challenging thing to do. And I think those are the 2 things that we probably have seen that are the most challenging for our freelancers to create. And there aren't that many freelancers who do those things for us too. So yeah, puzzles are hard. So you can just get Lair magazine and get some puzzles. You don't got to make any. I don't have a good process, dude. Besides paying other people and using puzzles I find in different resources is what I would do. Coin Slot says the process equals money. Yep, it does. Sometimes it does. Have you ever heard of X book from X person? I think somebody told me about that once before. Yes. That sucks. That sucks. All right, let's go see if I have anything from here. Okay, cool. As a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, we are raising money for Stack Up. This is our progress bar right here. Stack Up is a military charity who does lots of amazing stuff for veterans and active service members. They help support positive mental health and suicide prevention. Our goal is to raise $6,000 for them. We have currently raised over $3,000. We're over halfway there. everyone who donates $25 or more is going to be getting a map pack bundle, lots of digital maps you can use in your games. You're going to be getting D&D adventures because we hit 2 of our milestones already. We hit our $1,000 milestone and our $3,000 milestone. If we get to $6,000, everyone who contributes $25 or more is going to get a Lair magazine bundle with 3 issues of Lair magazine in it. And the top 5 donors are going to play D&D with me. So you can donate in the chat. There's a link in the chat. There's a link down in the description as well. Donate $50 and I do push-ups on stream today. Donate $100 and I will dance on stream. Donate $250 and I will sing on stream. And our live stream listeners have been subjected to me dancing and singing before and can attest, I'm sure, that it was quite lovely and entertaining. Also, LairCon tickets. LairCon tickets are now on sale. Link in the chat, link down in the description. It's taking place in Pensacola, Florida, October 7th, 8th, and 9th. It is going to be amazing. I will be there running a D&D game. Members of my team will be there running D&D and other RPG games. And there's obviously going to be other people there playing games. It's going to be very, very cool. So you can there are standard passes, standard weekend passes. There are premium passes to play games with my team members. And there's VIP tickets to play D&D with me. Only 2 VIP tickets remain. As of the last time I checked, it's possible people have already bought them. I don't know. The last I checked, there were 2 remaining. So if you want to hang out with me, I'll be there. Obviously, it's my convention. I kind of, I was going to say that I kind of have to be there, but that's not even true. Like, I love being there. Like, I look forward to this every single year. Like, my wife, last year, my wife was like, she was kind of like, you lost a whole bunch of money when you ran that convention. And I was like, yeah, I went into the red quite a bit running that convention. And then she's like, but you just did it because you wanted to, didn't you? Yes, I did. And then this year, like, I mostly do it because I want to. The business doesn't really make anything running the convention. I mostly run the convention because I want to see my team members. I want to see you guys. I want to be there. I want to hang out with people. It's just very, very cool. I love doing it. So we run the convention every year. And the other parts of the business that make money help subsidize the convention, just because it's a cool thing that we do that we love doing. So anyway, the convention's happening. If you want to come hang out, it's gonna be fun. Subcycle's leaving. Bedtime. It's bedtime for me too, dude. But I'm not going to bed yet. Okay. Question. My players angered a bunch of people at the end of their daily budget, and they're spent. How do I run combat after the party's exhausted? That's their problem. What do you mean? So let me get this straight. Your players, characters, are just spent. They have no resources left. They got nothing. They're low on hit points. They're low on spell slots. The monk has no key points, no more stunning strike. And then they go picking a fight. They mouth off, they say the wrong thing to the wrong people, and stuff's about to go down. And so the question from the Dungeon Master is, how do I run that combat? Because they've already gone through their adventuring day and their resources have been expended and they've got nothing left in the tank, and yet they just picked a fight with some other people who are about to attack them. What do I do? This is not your problem. This is not your problem. This is your player's problem. You did not make them pick that fight. You did not even plan for them to be in a fight at this particular moment. Your players are fully cognizant, I must assume, that they are at nothing. The tank is 0 as far as resources go. It's all gone, it's expended, and they're just exhausted, fully knowing their condition. Your players have decided to pick a fight anyway and get people angry at them. And now those people are going to attack them. This is not something that you created. You did not force them into this situation. You did not decide to screw them over hard and destroy them all, obliterate and TPK and grind their character sheets into dust. This was not your decision. This was your player's decision. You should, in my opinion, absolve yourself of all responsibility and run that combat as is. and let your players figure out how they're going to get out of that situation. Maybe they win, maybe they lose, maybe they get the crap kicked out of them, maybe they are all slaughtered and killed and it's a TPK. I don't think that's your problem. I think that is your player's choice to do that. And if you do not honor their choice, you are in a way denying them agency. You are making it so that their choices and their decisions and their actions in the game don't matter, because you are curating and cultivating the game experience so that there's always a favorable outcome. And at that point, when their agency has been taken away and things don't matter, they're kind of not playing a game anymore. They're maybe just listening to a nice story or something where they get to do some stuff and participate. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the point remains. They made a choice. They took actions. They did things. Let them figure out how to get out of it. Let you run it as is, and maybe there are consequences. Maybe something horrible happens. Maybe it doesn't. But if you deny them the consequences of their actions, you are basically taking away their agency, and you are not giving them control over elements of the game world that they should have control over. So my advice to you is just run that combat and hope for the best. Like, I don't want to TPK anybody. It's a pain in the butt. Nobody enjoys a TPK, but you picked this fight. So I'm going to run it as is. I'm going to have the bad guys try to win. All the while, I, as the dungeon master, am going to be hoping and praying that my players figure a way out of this, because I don't want to deal with the TPK, and they don't want to either. Nobody has fun when there's a TPK. And good luck, good sir. Goliath Cleric has a good point. The agency to make bad choices is just as important as the agency to make good choices. Yes. Irisu says, to be fair, it sounded like they just angered normal people. How likely is it that normal people are going to murder adventurers just because they are angry? Probably not. Like, and honestly, if it is just normal commoners are not going to attack an adventuring party. They're not that stupid. Like, in this world we call D&D, people know that adventurers are powerful. Adventurers kill trolls and orcs and dragons. You don't mess with adventurers. Adventurers will clean your clock. You are a commoner. What do you want in life? You want food and life and a little bit of enjoyment. If you can be happy and have a full stomach, have a place to sleep, maybe a family, not get diseased and die young, like, that's a good life. You're not looking to beat adventurers up. It doesn't matter if the adventurer makes you angry. You keep your mouth shut. You walk away because you want to live. So yeah, if it's a group of commoners, the commoners are not going to attack them. They'd have to be really foolish or drunk to do so. Most commoners know that adventurers are powerful, and they're going to walk away from them because that is the smart thing to do, even if you're angry. So I don't think a group of commoners would even try to fight a group of adventurers. That would just be foolhardy. Abracadagger D&D, what's up? Abracadagger? Okay, I think I got it. Shaz and Andy, good night. Have a good bedtime, dude. It's 1 a.m. in the UK. Ooh, nice. I'm almost 8 o'clock. What do you think you need to do to have a good dungeon? And when we say a dungeon, we really are just talking about a location-based adventure. A dungeon in this vernacular is any place the adventure takes place. It could be a castle, it could be a tavern, it could be the sewers, it could literally be a dungeon, it could be a cave system, it could be someplace in the Underdark, it could be anywhere. But a dungeon is just the standard term we use to describe the location where an adventure takes place. I think you want to have clear objective. The objective does not need to be kill everything, but there should be an objective. It's clear to the players. A reason they're going there. I think that you want to have a reward for going on the adventure of some sort, something that appeals to them. It might just be doing good. It might just be helping the townsfolk. It could be gold. It could be magic items. We have an entire rewards and recognition system that we published last month, I believe, in Lair magazine. So if you're looking for ways to reward your players that's beyond just giving out more gold and magic items, Lair magazine from, what would it be, June? The June issue of Lair magazine, which is available now for DM Lair patrons, will give you different ways to reward your players. But there should be some way to reward players for going on an adventure. And we haven't even actually talked about the location yet. So those things you want, the location itself, I think that there should be multiple entrances into the dungeon. There should be at least 2 ways to go into the dungeon. So it just provides variety for the players. The dungeon map. It should not be a linear map. There should be more than just one path through the dungeon. There should be various ways they could go. Give them some choices. Now, there's a framework to the choices because we're on a map. The map of the dungeon is the map of the dungeon. You can go left, right, or straight, but that's it. You can't go up or down. So there's some constrictions, right? But that's good. That's good. They have choices, but they can't do anything and everything. So you got different ways. It's not a linear map. I think you have bad guys in there. You should have the opportunity for social interactions, in exploration, and combat. Exploration can happen at any point in the dungeon. It could be they go into a room and there's a bunch of chests in there and they're exploring the chests, or they find a secret door and then there's a passage they have to go down and it leads to a big deep hole. And there's something down there at the bottom. What is it? Let's go figure out a way to climb down. And then, oh, we found something. Social interactions. They could talk to the bad guys as opposed to fighting every single one of them. There could be slaves or prisoners in there. There could be servants in there. Non-combatants that you might talk to. So there should be a possibility for social interactions. The combats. There should... Whoa, I just flipped everybody off. Sorry. Gotta be careful which finger I'm... Combats. There should... I'm doing it again. Holy crap. Let's try this. The thumb. We're gonna do the thumb. Combats. There should be a variety of difficulties. You should have trivial combats, easy, medium, hard, deadly combats. Lots of different variety there. Some combats, there should be waves of enemies. They get into a fight with these guys who aren't that hard, but the noise brings in more enemies who start to come down on them. You have waves, so you have some variety. I think there should be some terrain differences, things in the terrain that players might use to their advantage if they choose to do so. Oh, I think you should probably plan around the adventuring day so that there isn't a whole bunch of enemies in there, unless you have a big, huge, massive dungeon that the whole point is that it's big, huge, and massive, and there's more enemies in there than the adventuring day would allow for ordinarily. I think there should probably be a climactic boss fight toward the end of the dungeon. Ideally, I like to build my dungeons that way. You have little mooks and different people that they're fighting along the way as they go through the dungeon, and then they get to their objective, who usually is guarded by a boss figure of some type, and then they have a big confrontation. I think that is a good strategy as well. You don't have to do that, certainly, but I like to do that. I think that is fun, and it makes for, when you think about storytelling, and we're not telling stories, obviously, we're running a game. I don't want to make people think that we're telling stories, because we're not, but still, the way that you design an adventure and the way that you ideally would want it to play out at the game table does mimic certain parts of storytelling. For instance, you have a rising action, right? There's this buildup. there's this build up when you're reading a story, and then you have a climax where a whole bunch of stuff happens and is resolved, and then you have the closeout. I think it's I forget the term of it, but you have the falling, maybe it's the falling action or something. So when you are running an adventure, you have a plot hook that's delivered, and then they go into the dungeon, they begin exploring and fighting enemies. That's your rising action, and it's drawing them closer and closer and closer to that climatic boss fight where they're going to accomplish their objective or fail. That is the climax in your standard story. And then after they accomplish their objective, assuming they do and they don't fail, then the falling action is the wrap up. This is when they leave the dungeon, they go back and they get their reward. If there was like an NPC quest giver who was promising them sort of reward, they go back and they get that. And so you think about your dungeon and the way to design a dungeon and the way to run a dungeon in those terms of storytelling. Even though we're not telling a story, it's still, there's a reason that mechanic of rising action, climax, and then falling action, there's a reason that works for stories. And if you can design a dungeon around that, and maybe it ends up actually being ran that way, there's no guarantees because it's a game. The players might figure out a way to go right to the boss. Who knows, right? But if you can think around that mechanic and that term in that way, then that's going to help you create more satisfying dungeons, I believe, and more satisfying adventures for that matter. Zynich says, if I want to run multiple games and systems for LairCon, should I sign up multiple times or add all the systems or games on one sign up? So multiple times. So what they're asking about is, if you go to our LairCon website, there's a link in the chat and in the description, and you want to run a game as a game master, there is going to be a link on that page that will take you to a form where you could submit your game. And if you want to run multiple games, you're going to want to fill out that form multiple times. Fill it out one time for each game you want to run. One time for each game you want to run. So if you want to run 3 games, fill that form out 3 different times and then submit it. And then we'll take care of it from there. But yeah, don't put all your games into one submission, because then we're going to have to figure out how to parse it apart. And if you do that, chances are Sharita, who is doing like the entire coordination of LairCon, I love her, she's doing an amazing job too, she's probably going to email you and be like, what? So yeah, do separate forms. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this every single time I plugged LairCon, but if you run a game at LairCon, if you are a game master for a game at LairCon, we are going to give you a t-shirt. You will get an exclusive LairCon t-shirt. Now, most of the t-shirts are just going to have this LairCon artwork on the front. But if you are a game master at LairCon, we are going to give you a t-shirt, and it's going to have this obviously on the front, but on the back, it's going to have some cool saying. And we're still figuring out exactly what the cool saying is going to be. I don't know what it is. I've asked the team for ideas, and I don't know where we sit on that. But you will get an exclusive t-shirt on the house if you run a game at LairCon. So dungeon masters, game masters at conventions are kind of the lifeblood of a convention, and they help make the event happen. Like, if you don't have people running games, you don't have a convention, at least an RPG convention. And so my way of thanking game masters who run games is giving them a shirt. So you get a cool exclusive shirt. Only game masters will have that shirt. It's not going to be available to be bought anywhere. So if you want to run a game, then you get a t-shirt too. I don't know if that's a big incentive for you, but I know that when I run games at conventions, there's one convention I used to go to that would give you a t-shirt if you were a game master, and I thought it was amazing. I loved it. There was another convention that didn't really do anything for game masters. Like you had to run at least 16 hours of games and then they would like comp your weekend ticket or something. But 16 hours of games? Has anybody ever ran 16 hours of games in a weekend? Have you ever done that? And it was like a $60 ticket. 16 hours of games. That's probably 4 games. You're running 4 games over the course of a weekend. Holy crap, you are wiped out and dead. I have run 3 games over a weekend at a convention before. Destroys me. Completely destroys me. The first 2 games are like cool. The third game on Sunday, I'm like, I'm done, dude. I don't even want to run D&D. I hate D&D, you know? So 4 games is insanity. And so there's no way I'm gonna run 4 games over a weekend. That's crazy. I came there to have fun, not to like work my butt off to save $60. So anyway, that convention does like nothing for game masters to help them. And I don't think that's right because like I said, game masters are the heart of a convention. Without them, you don't have a convention. So, but the other convention that gave you a free t-shirt for being a game master, I thought that was really cool. And so we're doing that for LairCon as well. That's a mimic too. Roll initiative. We really need, I think we need help figuring out the cool saying that's going to go on the shirt too, because there was like a couple ideas I think I saw, but we didn't have a ton of ideas unless I'm way behind. It's possible that I am not up to speed on the where we're sitting on the cool saying. Oh. What rules, if any, do you use from other editions of D&D? Skill challenges. Skill challenges are a rule from 4th edition, I believe is where they originated, that are amazing. Skill challenges are just an absolutely great idea. I have no idea why they did not make the transition from 4th edition to 5th edition, because it was a great idea. I suspect that they probably were just like, 4th edition was such a fiasco and failure that they just were like, you know what? Anything associated with 4th edition, let's just get that out of here. So minions were a great thing from 4th edition. Let's just get those out of here. Skill challenges, let's just get them out of here. But skill challenges are great. We're actually publishing a skill challenge system in, is it July? I think it's July. I think it's literally coming out. No, June. I think it's June. One of my team members will know. Goliath Cleric or Ed, do you know when Skill Challenges is coming out? I think it's June, but in Lair magazine, we're going to have skill challenges. So here's the thing. Right now, there is no 5th edition mechanical system for skill challenges. Most people who run skill challenges just kind of figure it out. But my team and I have put together a skill challenge system for 5th edition using 5th edition mechanics so that you can run skill challenges at your games. And it is really, really cool. Who wrote it? I think Ed, were you the one that wrote the skill challenge system? I'm pretty sure you did. I think you did. So that's coming out and it is really, really cool. I love it a lot. I know it was Ed. Okay, cool. I know Goliath Cleric uses it in their games that they run for us. And I've used skill challenges before too. I haven't used Ed's system quite yet because it's new and it's just coming out, but it's very, very solid. So anyway, that'll be in the June issue of Lair magazine. I'm pretty sure it's June, which is coming out next week too. So there's probably links for my Patreon. If you become a DM Lair patron, you will get Lair magazine, which has lots of cool Dungeon Master resources in it. And the next issue of Lair magazine is coming out next week too, with skill challenges. It's beautiful. What am I doing? I'm thinking about food is what I'm doing. I'm literally sitting here, my stomach is kind of rumbling, and I'm like, I'm hungry. I need some food. This is what we're gonna do. Okay. do you guys think? Ooh, that one looks nice. That one looks oh, it's got bacon on it. Oh man, that's pretty good. You guys think we should go for that one right there? That looks that looks good. That looks really good. This looks fake. That looks like a fake hamburger. This looks real. Oh, holy crap. Oh, that looks good too. That's fake. That's a fake hamburger. That's totally a fake hamburger. This is real. Nice. Haven't these hamburger places, like, haven't McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's figured out that we know what a real hamburger looks like? This is not a real hamburger. This is garbage. This is garbage out of a box. That looks good. That looks fake. This is the type of stuff that, like, there are like food artists who like put together like food so that you can take pictures of it and have it look good, quote unquote good. I don't think they understand that it looks horrible. It doesn't. We know that it's not actual food. This looks really good. Wow. Oh. That looks nice. You see how it's lopsided and it's not perfect? That tells you that it's actual food. Oh, jeez. Nice. I think I've seen that one before. Oof, that looks good. Dang, that looks horrible. Don't eat that. That looks like garbage right there. Oh, what is this? Cheeseburger quesadillas? Oh man. Oh, that looks so good. Jeez. Holy crap. All right. Okay. Here we go. That was good. I'm still hungry though. Asymmetry is pretty. It looks, yeah, it makes food look real. Yeah. Okay. A fried egg. Oh yes, hot dice. I totally agree. I love fried egg on my burger. I actually went to, there's this restaurant near my house called Texas Roadhouse, and food is amazing there. And I ordered a burger. The first time I ordered a burger there, I was like, could I get an egg on my burger, like a fried egg on my burger? And the waitress was like, we don't have eggs. And I'm like, Gah! It's a restaurant. You don't have eggs? How do you not have eggs? It's like, this is like, you know, woo. Anyway, how about when I want to come here and have a hamburger, I will bring my own egg and I will pass it to you and you can fry it and put it on my hamburger. How about we do that? Can we do that? I should ask a waitress that. Like the next time we go there, I should literally, that would be hilarious. You guys, what if I did that? What if I did that? I went to the restaurant and I ordered a burger and I asked for an egg on it. And then the waitress is like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't have any eggs. I could like reach into my like cargo pants pocket, pull out an egg and be like, that's okay. I brought one with me. The thing is, I don't think they could actually cook my egg because there's like, you know, there's like food, there's like safe, what is the word? There's like food safety rules and guidelines and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that there's no way a restaurant is going to take an egg that a customer brought in from outside the restaurant and cook it on their grill. Like, I don't think there's any way they would do that. That would like be breaking rules and safety, health rules and stuff, health codes and crap. So I don't think there's any way that they would actually do that. Like, no way. There's 0% chance of that happening. But it would be funny. It would be funny. Okay. We're gonna do a cat trip right now. I'm gonna give my cats catnip. We're gonna watch them roll around and be stupid. But before we do that, let us just do a quick little sleazy plug for our Layers and Legends Kickstarter. It is a Kickstarter we ran. It ended almost a month ago. And if you missed out on the Kickstarter itself, pre-orders are now open. You're going to get 2 gorgeous books full of Dungeon Master resources for 5th edition. The first book is going to have a ton of adventures in it, 25 adventures. Wait a second. No. We commissioned more adventures. We have stretch goal adventures. I think there are now almost 30 adventures. I think there are literally 30 adventures in it. There's over 100 monsters in it. The second book has tons of other Dungeon Master resources, traps, puzzles, magic items, standalone encounters, and lots of other things. Both of these books are going to be massive, by the way. Can you imagine 30 adventures plus over 100 monsters in a book? This is like a 300 to 400 page book. It's going to be huge. Wizards doesn't do that. You get 13 adventures and 10 monsters in a book from Wizards. Anyway, let's not compare to them. I mean, it's not like they make millions of dollars. Okay, so anyway, if you want to get pre-orders for Lairs and Legends, there's a link down below where you can get the books. You can also get Into the Fae. We are printing Into the Fae as well. So if you didn't get the printed copy of Into the Fae on our first Kickstarter, you can get it now as part of the second one. And now we're going to find catnip for my cats. All right, I have assembled the all-star lineup. We have the banana and we have the pickle. I'm kind of a big dill. And now we are going to apply liberal amounts of cat crack, also known as catnip. Thank you. To these 2 things here, and we're going to give it to my cats, and they're going to freak out and go crazy. Prepare yourselves for a fun time. What up, Squeaky? Mommy wants some too. Here you go, Mommy. Little guy. We got a crowd. All right, and I will be back. Enjoy Squeaky. It's like he's gotta go right up and push the box out of the way. Geez, Squeaky, you big tub.
Oh, Nixit, you're feeding squirrels peanuts? Sweet. Our squirrel has moved out of the house. George has found a nest somewhere else. You want to stay on camera? Hey. Stay on camera. Genius. Oh. Have you ever homebrewed a campaign or world? Not for D&D. I've created worlds when I suffered the delusion of wanting to be a writer and write like novels and stuff. I homebrewed worlds that my novels took place in. However, I now understand that that is a very, very difficult path. Writing novels is not a path to be chosen lightly. It's a lot of work, a lot of work with no guarantee of success. Probably making YouTube videos and being successful on YouTube is probably easier than being a writer, but I probably have bias toward that just because I've done the YouTube thing and I know how to do it. But anyway, I did make worlds when I was trying to be a writer. Are you looking forward to the Dragon Lance release for 5th edition? Kind of. I'm interested in Dragon Lance. I've never read any of the books. I bought this right here. These are the first 3 books that Hickman and Weiss wrote. The first 3 original books, they're all in this one big huge massive thing. So I bought this a month ago or something. I'm finishing up my current series that I'm on, and then I'm planning on reading this bad boy right here. Because like I said, I've been reading the history of Dungeons and Dragons, and Weiss and Hickman were so amazingly influential and critical to the early days of TSR, before TSR spurned them basically, and then Weiss and Hickman went off and wrote for other publishers because they could make way more money than TSR was willing to pay them. But anyway, that's a different story. So anyway, I was reading the history of all that stuff, and it got me interested in reading the first 3 books of Dragonlance, so I would know a little bit more about it. So once I finish up my current series, I will be reading those. And I don't really know anything about the setting for Dragonlance at all. I'm hoping that the setting they do for 5th edition is cool. I just don't know. You know, the thing is that the products that Wizards publishes are hit and miss. You just don't know what you're gonna get. Sometimes Wizards of the Coast publishes things like Eberron, which is amazing. And then they'll publish something like Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Crapaverse, and you're just like, what were you thinking? Or they'll publish Strixhaven, and you're like, what were you thinking? So there are things they publish. Icewind Dale, I think I'm enjoying the Icewind Dale module that they published. I think that's pretty cool. So I'm running it for my youngling group. So the thing with Wizards publications is they're so hit and miss. Sometimes they're amazing, other times they're just like, and I don't know, my suspicion, it's probably because my own personal preferences decide and determine that there are certain products that I will enjoy and other products that I won't enjoy. And I'm not the only person that they're creating products for. There's a whole wide variety of different people out there. And so my guess is that many of their products are not geared toward me. They're not meant to appeal to me. They're meant to appeal to other people. And so other people will find those products good and they will want to buy them. And so I suspect that it's probably more of, marketing to different demographics and different, groups of people, and not just marketing everything to me, which is why, from my perspective, some of their products are really good and others of their products are garbage. But that could just be a me thing, and it could be they're intentionally creating a variety of products to appeal to a variety of different people. That is entirely possible. So, but it doesn't change my original point that from my perspective as a consumer and user of products, some of them are really good and others are garbage. That's still a valid perspective. It's just not objectively true. It's just my own personal perspective on it. Anyway, which leads us back to Dragonlance. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. I don't know if I should be excited or not. I'm not excited about it because I'm probably not going to use it. Yeah, I think it is a box set though, which I like. Like I have some box sets from second edition and I love the box sets. So the idea of getting a box set to me is really cool just because I loved when they made box sets back in the TSR days. So that's a cool idea. But whether I'm gonna like it or not, I don't know. I'll have to buy it first, and I'm probably gonna buy it for sure because there are some products that they make that I don't buy. I'm like pass. Strixhaven pass. It's funny. I got back when Strixhaven was bombing and nobody wanted to buy it and it was getting lots of negative press. Wizards reached out to me and they wanted me to do a video on Strixhaven, like promoting it and stuff. And I didn't end up doing it. I probably would have turned them down because I don't think I would have enjoyed it. And I do not do sponsorships for things that I don't think are good products. I'll tell you that right now. Like if you watch my YouTube video channel and all that kind of stuff, you don't see me doing sponsored videos for too many things. Like there aren't a whole wide variety. I'll Describe because it's a solid product. I do lots of videos promoting Describe because it's great. And Hit Point Press puts out some good solid products. Nord Games puts out solid products. And so, I do sponsored videos with a pretty small group of companies that produce really solid products. I refuse to promote someone's product that I don't think is good because I don't think that is doing you justice. I'm recommending something that I don't personally believe in. I don't think that's right. And so we don't promote a whole bunch of things. But what I'm trying to draw this back to is that the Wizards reached out to me. It was not the Wizards themselves. It was their agency, whatever agency they were contracting to reach out to influencers and stuff. They reached out to me for Strixhaven and I was like, I don't think I even want to do this to begin with. And so they also had a crazy turnaround. They wanted me to pop out a video for them in a week. And I was like, what? No, I'm not doing it. Not gonna do it. That's not what I told them. But what I basically I actually did. I actually told them that it would be impossible for me to turn around a video for them in 1 week and that I couldn't do it. And then I gave them a really high price tag too, because I literally wanted them to not pursue it any further. I wanted them to just walk away because so I gave them a super high price tag and I told them I couldn't do it anyway because a week is not enough time to turn around a video. Yeah. And I hadn't even bought Strixhaven, so I would have had to buy the book. I would have to read a good chunk of it or something to even consider possibly doing it. And I was just like, no, that's probably a non-starter. And so anyway, that didn't go anywhere. By design, it didn't want it to go anywhere. So I don't know why I'm even talking about that, but what's very, very interesting is Wizards agents reached out to me to do a sponsored video and I was like, But then it was about a month later, another really big D&D channel came out with a video called Strixhaven is Better Than You Think, where they spent some quality time promoting the crap out of that book. And I know why that book got promoted the crap out of. Because I was one of the people that their agent was reaching out to try to promote the book. And I guarantee you that I was not the only person they got reached out to promote that book. 100% guarantee you. There were lots of people that were asked to help promote that book. Give a call. PWR, what's up? How you doing? Joe McVeigh says because of money. Yeah, of course, because of money. Are you asking why other people helped promote it? Yeah, because of money. Absolutely. The Dreams Gone says, I'm going to run Lair magazine adventures for my one-shots group. Cool. Awesome. I hope they have fun. And don't TPK them. Well, I mean, you know, maybe. Money, money, money. Yeah. Oh. Hey, Goliath Cleric. Goliath Cleric's birthday is tomorrow. Goliath Cleric has their birthday tomorrow. Tomorrow. That is May 28th. Wow. Hey, should we sing happy birthday to Goliath Cleric? We should sing happy birthday, shouldn't we? I think we should. How does that sound? I think that would only be appropriate, right? Goliath Cleric says I quit. You can't quit, dude. Zach, you can't quit. You cannot quit. I forbid you from quitting. If you try to quit, then I'll be very sad. You're an awesome team member, dude. Don't quit. But I'm still singing happy birthday to you. Joe McVeigh says, I agree with you, Joe. Joe says people promoting products because they got money for it skews information for those that want to are researching before they buy. It's simply wrong of them. Oh, I 100% agree. But there are lots of people on YouTube that promote products just because they got paid to do it. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. And I think that's kind of what I was trying to say, is that I don't do that. Like, yes, I get paid to promote products. Yes, Describe is paying me to promote their products. That's why you see that little thing from YouTube that says paid advertisement is on this video. Like, YouTube requires us to disclose when we are being paid to promote something in our videos. And so Describe is paying me. Absolutely. Hit Point Press pays me. Nord Games pays me. Like, these people, they pay me to promote their products. Of course they do. Like, that's the way these things work. But what I was trying to say is that if I don't think something is quality, I will not promote it to you. That is like my own little thing of integrity, that if I don't believe in something, I am not going to take money and promote it to you. And you can ask my team members. Goliath Cleric, I routinely have them. I literally will get emails from people who want to pay me money to promote their stuff. I will forward that stuff onto Goliath Cleric and I will ask them, hey, can you please look at this? Do you think this is a quality resource? I think I've done that to Sunny before. Will you please look at this resource? Let me know if it's quality or not. I've put that into my moderators on Discord. Hey guys, can you look at this? Does this look like a good... I've had companies that wanted to promote like software, and I will get trial versions of their software. I will give those trial versions to my moderators. I will literally have them test out and play around with the software to see if it is quality before we promote it, before we agree to sponsored messaging for you guys. Because my goal is to only promote things that I think are quality. And of course they're still paying me for it, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm not going, I only promote things that I believe in. And I've left lots of money on the table to not promote things that I think aren't that good. You should always, there should be a little, anytime somebody on YouTube makes a video about a product saying how amazing it is, you should always put on your critical thinking hat and wonder, did they get paid to say this? You should always think that. You should always think that. Always. So if a video comes out about Strixhaven being awesome or something, and almost everybody is saying it's bad, you should be like, did they get paid to say that? There's a good chance they did. even if they're not disclosing it, like you're supposed to click a little box that says if you were paid, if there's paid advertising in your video. And sometimes creators don't check that box. That's obviously very disingenuous of them if they don't click that box, you know. But you should always wonder if somebody is saying good things about a product and promoting a product, and other people are all unanimously saying that it's bad or that they don't like it, you should always be like, I wonder if they're getting paid to say this. And if they're getting paid to say this and their opinion runs contrary to everybody else's, do I trust them? Maybe they really believe in it, but maybe they don't. I literally before this stream, I saw a blog post from somebody whose books I enjoy, and they were talking about Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse. And the thread of the blog post was generally trending positive things to say about that book that most people are dissing into the dirt. And it really makes me wonder, how close a ties does this person have to Wizards? And is this really their opinion, or is there other things going on that are influencing this blog post that they made? I have to wonder. Now, it isn't abnormal to have a contrary opinion from the crowd, but you have to use your brain and think when you see a person that is espousing beliefs about something that are very contrary to what most people think. And especially if they are in a position of influence, you must wonder, did they get paid to say this? Or do they have close connections with this company and therefore they're trying to help this company succeed at stuff because, yay, hey, we're buddies scratching backs and stuff. Oh, Ed, I 100% agree with you. And I don't, this is the interesting thing, Ed. I don't know that they violated SRD. I suspect that person has an agreement with Wizards. I am pretty darn sure that they have some sort of licensing agreement with Wizards to be able to write those books. And because they haven't, I am going to operate on the belief that they have a licensing agreement with Wizards that allows them to do that. And because that person has a licensing agreement with Wizards that allows them to write the books that they write, that tells me that they are probably not going to say anything negative about things that Wizards does. Even if they are allowed to, even if they could, they don't want to jeopardize that relationship because they're making some money off from these books that they're writing, you know? And so that leads me to believe that I can't trust what they say about that book, about Monsters of the Multiverse. I can't trust them because I believe that they have an arrangement with Wizards to begin with so that they can keep publishing their books. And therefore that relationship, that arrangement gives them heavy bias and it ties their hands. Even if they wanted to be honest, even if they thought that a product that Wizards created was bad, they couldn't say it because it would jeopardize their business relationship with Wizards. You see what I'm saying? And so because of that going on, right, it influences what they say about their products, which means I can't trust them. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what's going on. But I'm pretty sure they have a licensing arrangement. And right about now, Goliath Cleric is thinking that I forgot about the Happy Birthday song, but I haven't. I'm still planning on doing it. You thought that I got distracted and it wasn't going to happen, but it's still going to happen. It's not identified in the books. No, it's not disclosed in the books that they have a licensing arrangement with Wizards, but they must. Those books are so well known and popular and stuff that they have to have had some sort of arrangement with them. They must have. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's biting the hand that feeds you. Exactly. It is absolutely. Like I have good relationships with several companies that publish books. You know, like I've mentioned Nord Games and Hit Point Press that publishes things. You know, I'm not going to say anything negative about their products, but if they have a product that they want me to promote and I'm just not feeling it, I will just tell them, hey, I'm going to take a pass on this one. I'm not going to say negative things about it because I don't want to compromise our relationship, but I will not disingenuously say positive things when I believe the contrary. I will just straight up tell them I'm going to take a pass on this. For instance, I did that there was a company, this was a few months ago, but they wanted me to do a sponsored video on a D&D magazine that was essentially a direct competitor for Lair magazine. And I was like, I don't think I can do that, because that's literally like my direct competitor. I publish a monthly D&D magazine, and they're publishing a monthly D&D magazine, and I don't think I can do sponsored messaging on that. I just can't do it. It's, it's a business conflict, and I just told them that. I literally told them that it's, I publish a magazine, that's a magazine. There's a business conflict here. I don't think I can do that. I just told them that, and they're like, okay, that's cool, no problem. And then we did something else. I promoted something else that they were doing, and so, yeah, I'll be honest with companies. I'll just tell them, but I'm not going to, if I have a good relationship with a company, I'm not going to say bad things about what they do. That would be very bad form, in my opinion. But if they publish something I don't like, I'm not going to say anything. Probably, because that's not, I don't want to compromise those relationships. So I don't know. It gets messy. It gets messy at some point, but at the very least, you can trust me not to promote something to you that I don't think is good. I might decide to keep my mouth shut about certain things because I don't want to compromise a relationship with the company. So like if they produce something that's bad, I'm just not going to say anything because I don't want to compromise that relationship. But you can definitely know for sure that if I'm promoting something and I think that it's good, it's because I actually believe that it's good. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. But business relationships and stuff do start tying your hands up a little bit, and you have to be careful about those things. You just have to be smart about them. Yes, Joe McVeigh. Luke saying it like it is. That's what I do around here. Probably is going to get me in trouble someday. Yes, Goliath Cleric is a veteran. They served in the army. They were a medic. Medic! How are our stack up donations going? And I'm sorry, I haven't really been answering your D&D questions. I've just been like prattling on about stuff. Jesse S, thank you for your $25 donation to Stack Up. By the way, right up here is our tracker for Stack Up. Stack Up is a military charity. They support veterans and active service members. They promote positive mental health and suicide prevention. They're doing lots of amazing things for our veterans and active service members. Our goal is to raise $6,000. We are over halfway there. And folks who donate $50 will make me do push-ups on stream. If you donate $100, I will dance. If you donate $250, I will sing for you. And everyone who donates $25 or more is going to get a bunch of digital Dungeon Master resources as well. And if we hit our $6,000 goal, you're going to get even more resources. So very, very, very cool stuff. I can hear my wife upstairs. She's putting away the dishes and it's making lots of noise. Thank you. She's probably watching the stream, but not listening to me. And so I might be safe. What was I going to do? Oh, we were going to sing happy birthday. Rebel Squirrel, hello. Happy birthday. All right, here we go. Here we go, Zach. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zach. Happy birthday to you. Ya queremos pastel. Ya queremos pastel. Aunque sea un pedacito. Ya queremos pastel. Y Coca-Cola también. There you go. Happy birthday, buddy. See, I told you I was a good singer. I'm really good at this stuff. as a DM, should I decide what enemy attacks which PC? Yes, absolutely. Just random, or like you attacked him so he's angry and attacks you back? Okay, so this is actually something that annoys the crap out of me. 100% annoys the crap out of me. So this happens in my games. I'm running the bad guys. I'm running the monsters. And I'm like, okay, this orc is going to attack this character. And then my player is like, wait a second, why is he attacking me? I didn't do anything. I hate that. I hate that. I hate it when my players question who my bad guys are attacking. I despise it into the ground. Into the ground. I never question when they have their characters attack certain bad guys. I never question it. When they have all of their characters team up on the spellcaster bad guy and they all focus fire and my wizard bad guy dies in one round before I can do anything, I never question them. I never call them out for metagaming or something. I never say, hey, that's not fair. Why are you teaming up on my spellcaster? I haven't been able to cast Fireball yet. Why don't you let me cast Force Cage first and then you can attack my spellcaster? I never question my players when they decide to attack certain enemies. Never. Never. I let them run their characters the way they want to run their characters. And yet somehow, for some reason, unbeknownst to me, it happens with disturbing frequency in my games that my players will question why my bad guys are attacking certain characters. Like, I'm sorry. The last I checked, you got to run your characters and I got to run my bad guys. And yes, your wizard did just cast a fireball spell and obliterate a whole bunch of the enemies. And yes, they have all now decided to target your wizard. Why are you questioning that? You do the same thing to me. My monsters aren't stupid. They're now doing the same thing back to you. Why is this a big question? Well, the wizard doesn't have a lot of hit points in armor class and they might die. Yeah, but they just cast fireball on me. Like, why do I have to justify my actions as a dungeon master role-playing my monsters? Why do I have to justify that to you? Why do I have to explain those things? Why do I have to roll random dies and make it seem like, oh, it's unbiased and random who I'm attacking? No! I can roleplay my monsters. I can have them have brains. I can have them use tactics. I can have them focus fire on the characters that are offering the largest threat to them. And if there is a character who is a paladin sorcerer who has a standing armor class of 22, can cast shield and get it up to a 27, and also has a cloak of displacement. If there is a character like that, and the bad guys have learned that they can't hit him at all, then isn't it reasonable for the bad guys to stop trying and to target at somebody else? Like, isn't that reasonable? Well, of course it's reasonable. But it doesn't sit right with the players because they want the bad guys to all attack the paladin and who can't get hit, who it is impossible to hit. So the rest of them can just like blast them apart. And so if my monsters have brains and decide not to target the paladin and to target somebody else, the players are like, whoa, why? The paladin is doing tons of damage. Shouldn't they attack the paladin? No, they shouldn't. Why? I'm the dungeon master. I'm running my monsters. I'm role-playing them. That's my choice. I role-play my monsters. You role-play your characters. I don't tell you how to run your characters in combat. Please return the favor. Don't tell me how to run my monsters in combat. That is all I ask of you. It is my one simple ask. That's it. Please grant me this. Give me my agency. I allow you yours. I want mine. Why do we have to have this conversation? Why do you question what my monsters do? I'm not metagaming. I'm trying really hard not to metagame. I am. But I should be allowed to roleplay my monsters as they have brains and not just have them do what benefits you in the battle the most. Like, right? Isn't that fair? Can we not agree that that is fair? I hope so. So yeah, that annoys me. I'm almost out of coffee. I have counterspelled healing word before. I don't know about revivify. I don't know if I've counterspelled revivify. By the way, I hate counterspell. I wish they would take counterspell out of the game. Jack Jansen says, you, sir, are on another level with that rant. I salute you. Well, thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. I do my very best to deliver high quality rants to my viewers. I want you to come alongside me and feel my angst, feel the pent up anger and frustration as I take it out on the camera. And there's this like small little part of me that's like, I hope my players listen to this. I hope my players know that I'm talking about them. Like, would it be too much like to forward them this little part of the live stream with the timestamp so that they just go right to it and listen to it? Like, you know, could I be like, hey guys, you know, before the next game session, you know, check this out. It's a cool video that I found. Like, oh, you know, I didn't mention this before. Jack says I need to step up my rant game on my players. No, I wouldn't rant at your players. Like, that's not fun. I mean, you know, I do it on live streams because it's fun. I don't talk that way to my players. I never talk that way to my players. If you go to my second YouTube channel, the DM Lair streams, you can watch my D&D games, my Curse of Strahd game. You can go there and watch me run Curse of Strahd for my players. I never talk to my players that way. I am a very reasonable human being. And I don't talk that way to my players. I would not have players if I talked that way to them. And I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I would just feel horrible with myself. We literally had a paladin sorcerer with shield, high armor class with shield, who had a cloak of displacement. And my players are like, why do you never target them? Because they're impossible to hit. Why do you think I never target them? I don't have any more coffee, Penguin Butt. It's all gone. I'm out of coffee. Oh yeah. Today was my last day at my day job. I went to one meeting this morning, and then I drove into the office and turned in my laptop and badge. So I am officially done with the day job. And now we're running the business full time. It's good. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. Thank you guys. I think I'm gonna get more and more excited. It'll probably next week, the full realization of the awesomeness of it is gonna settle in, where it's just like, I don't have to go to any meetings anymore unless I want to, unless I'm the one making the meetings. Like, wow. And then I have full control to not schedule stupid, worthless meetings. And we can actually make sure that something is accomplished in the meetings. You know, that's really cool. Yes, a weight has been lifted. Yeah. You should sleep in until 4:30 tomorrow to celebrate. No, Ed, I'm gonna be up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. I'm gonna be up at 4 a.m. just like always, dude. I've tried so many different things, but getting up at 4 a.m. is the most productive thing in the world for me. I get so much done early in the morning. Like when it's 9 o'clock and you've already got your big rocks done for the day, you've already got your really big tasks that move the ball forward. When you have that stuff done and it's 9 o'clock in the morning, that feels so good. Like that feels so good to get a bunch of good crap done early in the morning. And then the rest of the day, and then doesn't matter what happens the rest of the day could fall apart, but you got your crap done, you know? I mean, there's always more work to be done in the afternoon and stuff, but if you can focus on the big stuff in the morning and get it done, it's huge. Matthew says, how is the business going to change now that you are devoting your full attention to it? I wouldn't anticipate any big changes right away. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to build like a massive publishing company or something. I'm not. I literally just want the business to make enough money so that we can pay all of the wonderful people that help us to create the things that we create, so that I can continue to be full-time, and that's enough. You know, I'm not trying to make like crazy tons of cash loot and stuff and do stupid crazy stuff with money. I literally just want to run my business, live my life, be able to pay my bills, be able to pay all of the awesome people like Goliath Cleric and Penguin Butt and all of our freelancers and all of our cartographers. I want to be able to pay them, you know, fair rates and pay my team members and, you know, be able to keep being full-time. Like, that's what I want. I'm not trying to, like, you know, make millions of dollars. It's money is only as good as what you can do with it, you know? And if you can live a happy, satisfied life, like, that's good enough, you know? And so I'm not looking to make any huge changes to the business or what we do. I think we're going to continue forward with Lair magazine, which is very successful and helping a lot of people, and people enjoy it a lot. We're going to continue doing Kickstarters probably once a year. We're going to have a Kickstarter. My team and I are already discussing our next Kickstarter, which is going to come out next year. And we already have some contracts in place and people that we're working with to start work on that Kickstarter. And so you're going to see that. One of the things that we are going to start delving more into is creating stuff on Roll20 and maybe Fantasy Grounds. So we're going to be looking at taking some of the adventures that we've created and putting them on Roll20 and putting them on Fantasy Grounds so that folks can purchase them there. And probably what we'll do is I have to pay people to make them, these modules that go on Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds. So I mean, there are business expenses for making that happen. And so I can't just give them out for free and stuff because, you know, there are business expenses. But what I'm probably going to do is once we start doing that, probably DM Lair patrons will get some sort of discount if they want to go buy them. So that's probably how we're going to do that. I haven't totally fleshed that out. So that is something that you can probably anticipate, is getting more into putting resources out on virtual tabletops. So that's just the way that we're going to probably start to expand, you know, now that I have more time to think about it. I mean, Goliath Cleric created a Roll20 module for us a long time ago, and I just have not had time to look at it. And Tashio created one for Fantasy Grounds, which I need to review. And I just haven't had time to do that. So my hope is I will have more time to look at that so that we can start expanding into that area. But and the videos are going to be the same. You're going to get the same 2 videos a week. The live streams are going to remain the same. So there aren't going to be any big, huge sweeping changes. I'm not, so like, I just got rid of a huge time commitment in my life, day job. I'm not looking to fill that time with more work. I'm hoping that I can have some semblance of free time again in my life and not have to work from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. every single day nonstop. That is my hope, and every day weekends included. So that's more of what I'm trying to do, is to get back a little bit of my life to, relax more, maybe, if that could happen. I need to find a video game, though. I can't find a video game that I like playing. I've tried so many video games and everything. I just bounce off everything and nothing is enjoyable for me. I don't know. That's my biggest problem right now. I can't find a video game that I like. I tried Divinity Original Sin 2. Not interested. It's too slow paced. What is Elden Ring? I don't even know. I've heard of Elden Ring. Elden Ring sounds like a really popular one that people have been talking about. Isn't that a new thing that came out? Elden Ring is an action role-playing game. I like action role-playing games. That's like a Diablo 2 type thing. Developed by From Software and published by whoever. Who cares? Ooh. Oh, it's made in collaboration with fantasy novelist George R.R. Martin? Really? I like Martin. Martin's a great writer. He actually gets crap done. Robert Jordan is just kind of like, me, I'm gonna write a little bit. Take forever. Oh, I'm gonna write a prequel. I know you guys were waiting for the rest to finish out the series, the Wheel of Time series, but I decided to write a prequel and not finish the series when I could have, and then we got to get Sanderson was like, oh, such a good choice to finish out the Wheel of Time series. But anyway, my point is that Martin actually gets crap done and writes stuff, and his books are amazing. So anyway, that was a side rant for you. Jordan annoys the crap out of me. Elden Ring. I'll have to look at some like videos on that to see what it looks like. It was just released too in January. It looks like. Yeah, it's what it sounds like. It was released in January. So it's a newish game. Is it like a massive multiplayer game, or is it just like you play the game and that's it? Does anybody know? Yeah, that's what I said. Brandon Sanderson is one that finished up the series. Yeah. Mass Effect. I've heard it. Yeah, that Mass Effect's kind of old, but I've heard good things about it. It's a single player with light multiplayer elements. Oh, okay, cool. It's an open world game. Okay, I'll have to take a look at it. That sounds interesting. Multiplayer is coming. Hello, Rachel. How you doing? But it's a massive long game. That doesn't bother me. I'm not trying to complete it. I'll just play it to have fun. I'll take a look at that. Luke Martin doesn't get anything done. I mean, okay. I can't comment on the pace of his books coming out. I really don't know. I don't know about a bunch about that. All I know is that when I was reading Jordan's stuff, like it would just take him forever to get his books out, and it was annoying to me. Martin might be just as bad. I honestly don't know. I could be wrong. He could take a lot longer. But the quality of his books are way better. It's competitive. I'm not too much into competitive online stuff. Once you have games that are competitive, you get a bunch of jerkwads. Yeah, that doesn't interest me. And then it doesn't become fun because people are like insulting you and stuff. All right. Did you guys sign up for the giveaway yet? We're going to do the giveaway. I haven't even talked about the giveaway except for once, I think. But we have a D&D book giveaway going on. There is a link down in, well, one of my moderators can put it in the chat. Basically, you can win a D&D book. So you should go enter the giveaway. I'm going to draw the winner in just a little bit here. So you should go sign up for it. Don't forget to check out LairCon too. This is the t-shirt for LairCon. There's a link in the chat as well. It's happening down in Pensacola, Florida, October 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's going to be on the University of West Florida's campus. We have their conference center rented out. It looks really nice. It looks like a very nice venue. I will be there. Several of my team members will be there. We have standard weekend passes. We have premium passes where you can play games with my team members. Goliath Cleric, Ed, Penguin Butt are going to be running games, so you can play with them. And then we have the VIP tickets where you can play in a game with me, and I take you out to dinner too. We'll probably have bacon at dinner. If you want. You don't have to have bacon. I just think it's funny. So anyway, yeah, go check that out. LairCon. It's going to be very, very cool. Elden Ring. Okay, so I'll check that out. Would it be fair to take real world economics into account when pricing items? That is, if the party has just spent a ton of gold in town, next time they come through, prices are higher. Sure, why not? I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. It does create a little bit of extra work on your end. You got to keep track of that, but it's not that bad. But yeah, sure, you could do that. And you know, if the adventurers are spending a whole bunch of gold and prices are going up, then that means that that's inflation. Everybody in that town who doesn't have that extra gold, everything's way more expensive for them, and they could be in trouble. They could be angry at the adventurers for screwing up the local economy. So you could do that, right? I don't know how interesting that would be for your players. Maybe they would love it. Maybe they would eat it up. Who knows? But yeah, you could definitely do that. Any tips for running a game with just one player and a DM? Me and my wife enjoy playing, but we don't have a consistent play group. Any tips? Thanks. Yeah. So I ran D&D for my daughter for quite some time, and it was just me and her. So what I did, and I don't necessarily know that I would recommend this, but I was the dungeon master. I ran 2 characters, and my daughter ran 2 characters, and so she had a group of 4, and that's the game we played. It was your DMPC situation, but I knew the pitfalls around DMPCs, and I was careful to avoid them. It could have easily just been NPCs or hirelings or something, but I basically gave my daughter a full group. Now you could do that, or you could just have, like, let's pretend you're the dungeon master and your wife is the player. You could have your wife run a character, and maybe she runs 2 characters, and then maybe they have a hireling or something. But maybe she doesn't want to run that many characters, and that's not fun for her. Well, that's okay. You just tailor the game. You rebalance the game for 1 character or for 2 characters. When I was in high school, I ran a game for just 1 character. My buddy and I wanted to play, but that's it. And so I ran a game for him for a while where he was running 1 character, and that's it. And we played D&D. I balanced things around 1 character. It can be done. So you can absolutely do that if you'd like. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it might take a little bit of trial and error for you to figure out the right balance of combats and stuff like that. To make sure that it's not overwhelming. You know, action economy is important. So be mindful of that. But yeah, that's my suggestion for that. My group says they want to roleplay more. Well, the whole game's roleplaying. But at the table, they just list actions and try to get as much skill rolls in as they can. Should I wait a little bit more before giving the next beat? I'm not sure what that means. I mean, the best you can do is set the example by... I don't know exactly what you mean by role playing, because different people use that term in different ways and they mean different things. The entire game is role playing. But if what you're trying to say is talking in special voices, which is what many people mean when they say role playing, which is completely ridiculous because the whole game is role playing. Speaking in special voices is a subsegment of social interactions, which is a subsection of the game. The whole game is role playing. One part of the game is social interactions, and then a subset of that is speaking in special voices. You can do social interactions where you don't speak in special voices, but some people do speak in special voices. But for some reason, even though the whole game is role playing, there are folks who say when they say role playing, what they actually mean is talking in special voices, accents and crap like that. So if that's what you mean, then the best you can do is set the example yourself and speak in special voices. And if your players do it, then they do it. If they don't, they don't. You can't control them. They have their own, it's their human beings that make their own choices. But what I'm trying to say is if your players say they want to do X, you provide ample opportunity for them to do X, but they instead choose to do Y, there's nothing left for you to do at that point. You allow the opportunity, they choose not to take it. That's on them. What else are you going to do? There's nothing else you can do. They are actively choosing not to avail themselves of the opportunity that you are providing to them. That's not on you. That's on them. They need to take advantage of that opportunity. And if they're saying they want to do it and they don't actually do it, human beings don't always say what we mean. Many times we say what people expect us to say, or we say things that other people want us to say because we are social creatures. And one of the worst things that can happen to a social creature is to be ostracized from the group, to be excluded from the group. And so we as human beings have this hardwired into our brains that we don't want to be excluded or ostracized or exiled from the group. And so obviously we know that that's not actually going to happen, but we still have this hardwired into our instinctive behaviors so that when we are in a group setting, we want to fit in. We want to be part of that group, and we don't want to do things that are going to get us exiled, ostracized, or banned from the group. Even though it's not going to happen, it's still in here. And so what we tend to do as social creatures who don't want to be ostracized is we say and do things to help us fit in with the group. And so if we feel that the right answer to something is, yes, we love role playing, we want to do more of it, you are going to have the natural inclination to say the thing that you think the other person wants you to say, the thing that is socially acceptable. Or if the dungeon master loves role playing, then you're going to be influenced subconsciously or consciously to say, yeah, I love role playing too, and I want to do more of it, even if you don't actually like it. So what am I driving at besides some human psychology and behavioral science crap? What I'm driving at is people don't always say what they mean. Are they intentionally lying? I wouldn't say that. It's just a behavioral thing. So if somebody says X, but they do Y consistently, you know they don't actually mean X. That's not what they believe. And they've told you something else for reasons. Not necessarily things that you should hold against them. It's just what people do. So it is the rare person who will tell you to your face something that they know you don't want to hear. That person is a rare person indeed. So I don't know where I'm going with that. There you go. Just put that there and leave it. All right, giveaway time. We're doing the giveaway now. We are going to draw the winners to the giveaway. I'm doing it right now. If you didn't sign up, I am sorry. Krista Cunningham, hello, how you doing? Trudy, hello. I'm happy to see you catch a live stream. Thank you for joining us. Jan, goodbye. Have a good night. Okay, here we go. Wow, I can't say this name. Somebody won, and I'm gonna murderize their name. I am really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I'm about to say your name really, really poorly. Hold on a second. Okay. I'm sorry. You're from Poland, and your name is Polish, I'm assuming, which is why I can't pronounce it. Masij, M-A-C-I-E-J. That is how you spell your name. I don't know how to say it. I am so sorry. But you won. You won. So I am going to send you an email and we're going to get you hooked up. Congratulations for winning. And I'm sorry that I can't say your name, but yeah, I can't do it. I got nothing. So anyway, there you go. Owen can spell it. Good job, Owen. Thank you. Maciek. Oh, Trudy says that they think it's Maciek. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, you won. Congratulations. I'll send you an email and you're going to get some cool stuff. So thank you for hanging out. Ladies and gentlemen, go check out LairCon. Woo! Wee! Link in the chat. It's going to be great. And have tons of fun. So I will see you next week. Our live stream next week is on Thursday. It's going to be wonderful. I'm going to bed now. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's been fun. I know I didn't answer all the questions. I did my best. And there were some rants and tangents. I know. But I'm a human being. Cut me some slack. All right, I'm leaving now. Have a wonderful one. Good night, everybody. Love you all. You're amazing. And goodbye.